Hello and welcome, dear spirits, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. Today I'm your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and we shall be continuing the tale of Tyrant's Wrath. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. If you guys have not seen our content before, we have a whole series over on Tables of Tartarus, our YouTube channel. I just realized I'm not wearing my watch, weirdly enough, but whatever. And we are doing a whole, we have a whole 21 previous episodes so you guys can watch if you guys want to get more reference. You guys can always listen to it while you guys are chilling, doing dishes, eating dinner, whatever have you, or just using it as a bedtime routine. I know I do that a lot as well for a couple other series, so whatever floats your boat. Feel free to do so if you guys wish to get to know the background or history. If you guys want to know more about the characters, we have a new command called !heroes. You guys can type in the chat, and it'll let you guys know the some of the party. You guys can get a little bit more direct information upon them as well. But we are here joined by Storyestry, who is playing Ania. Hi, Story.
Hello.
And then we also have Cyril, Gelmar, Dakota, Rue, and Sapphire. If you guys have not checked Story out before, she's over on her Twitch as well, and she is a fantastic variety streamer. Story, would you like to do the recap last episode? Because I think it'd be funny.
Okay, I wasn't ready again. Let me just think for a second. Where did it start? Okay, we started the beginning of the day. No, wait.
I believe you guys started with y'all dispersing from the room, if I recall correctly.
Yesterday was Gelmar's prisoner strap, right?
Yeah.
So we came back.
His what?
The thing you guys stepped into into our room to witness the ending of its glowing, as well as see the basic effects of Rue's spells, as well as Ania specifically also got to see how exactly the restraints respond to magic in the area.
Yes. So last time we started with everyone gathered around Gelmar, who was asleep. Gelmar, for some reason, had been acting odd all day, so he apparently has a level of exhaustion today, which is going to be bad later. But so Gelmar was asleep and was having the strap around his neck glow, and Rue was there to assist him, but then everyone else showed up, and we found out from Gelmar after he woke up that these are restraints that he's had for a long time that are holding some of his power back. Or doing other things, we're not quite sure. And they are resistant to being removed because they eat magic, so most magical methods of removing them just aren't very effective. So they didn't remove them for the time, and then everyone decided to split up during that night to do different things. Ania and Gelmar went downstairs to research more about the Yonti in this bandit ruins they're currently in. They are currently invited to these bandit ruins by Roderick, the bandit king. So Ania learned more about the Yonti, and then Ania and Gelmar had a chat in which Ania disturbed him greatly by knowing a bit more about Gelmar than he was comfortable with. And she also looked at the stars, and it's the changing of the month, so she couldn't really read anything. Then, let's see, what were the other groups? Cyril was sleeping in the room or just dozing off. Rue had gone off to try and help around, do nice things. She's Rue, and she ended up running into this high elf that was doing some suspicious maneuvers and writing down things that the bandicap was doing. And the bandicap reportedly does not like high elves, neither does King Roderick. But Rue met her, and they had a very awkward exchange, as Rue does, where she talks to the person. The person does not know what to make of her, unfortunately. Nothing really came of it, though. Rue did snatch a little book she found, but she didn't get the chance to show it to everyone because the last group, Dakota and Sapphire, decided they wanted to sneak around and sneak into King Roderick's throne room to figure out what his secrets were. So they snuck in, very well, might I add, and Sapphire went up to the door King Roderick went into the one room in the whole castle he said we could not go into. and it's filled with bodies, just dead, possibly bodies not hurt. But Sapphire was investigating that, and while Dakota was investigating the coffin that sometimes moves that King Roderick sits on in place of a throne. And in a wonderfully, terribly coordinated maneuver, Sapphire read King Roderick's thoughts at the same time as Dakota opened this coffin just a little bit, just to peek inside. And Sapphire read the thoughts of, I must not let the vampire lord awaken, which Dakota did. And the vampire lord woke right up, totally early riser, totally rise and shiny, even though it is in the middle of the night, said hello, and Dakota and Sapphire got the heck out while King Roderick ran back in, and they booked it all the way back to the room, in which Ania yelled at them, and Cyril expressed immense dad disappointment. And Cyril contacted King Roderick, asked if he wanted help, which he did, and everyone else in the bandit camp is also going to the throne room now to try and fight this vampire lord or do something. We're not quite sure what King Roderick wants done yet. We assume fight, but that's where we left off. Everyone's still sort of in the room.
Yep. And I
Nice.
believe, as
Thank
I
you.
recalled earlier, and fantastic job summarizing, way better than I
Thank
do. The last I recall, I believe the elk that Cyril had summoned previously has mostly just been wandering around, but is currently pretty much outside the doors, pretty much leaning against the wall. So essentially, you guys go outside of your door. To the right is the wall. Directly in front of you is a whole bunch of other rooms slash cells slash whatever. And to the left is towards the throne room. So the elk is out there at the moment. You guys are all inside. Dakota has taken a full healing potion, so he gets a plus 10 health. Everyone else should, I believe, have their healing potions distributed, or whatever it was that you guys were doing. And you guys hear literally hundreds of footsteps running up the staircase. And you guys know how long that staircase is. You guys get to experience that staircase's length multiple times now. So there's a ridiculous quantity of people charging up this staircase, and you're hearing all kinds of shouts as you guys essentially getting a magical blaring noise going throughout the entire kingdom, which seems to be the general response of get your asses fucking up here or we're all going to die kind of a thing. You guys know that everyone's heading into the throne room at the moment, which you guys are all hearing either echoing or in your head or both, you're not quite sure, some kind of discussion going throughout the room. Clearly, it's the same voice you guys have heard previously, is this this vampire voice, and you primarily are hearing, oh, 500 years in the ground really gives you a crink in the neck. Or was it 200? 300? 100? Many hundreds of years.
Oh goodness.
All right, so en route from the room to the throne room, I'm gonna do a few things to prep. First, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself, and you're gonna see those prickly vines just like envelop my helmet, my arms, anywhere that's visible, like its own natural armor. And then you're just going to see these like glowing pulses as I'm going to give up all of my second level slots and
Dang.
one of my harness divine powers so that I can have 16 exertion points.
Okay.
Just gonna make sure I can keep track of it that way.
Yep.
And then Dakota's going to hear in his head on our way there Not a single word about whether or not this was you. If they round on you and call you out, I'm not going to ask you to lie. And I will back you up.
Okay,
Yes.
but what if they realized that Sapphire was also there?
I will back both of you up.
I don't know. I was kind of planning to take the blame for her, sir.
Jesus Christ. You
I
can hear the
appreciate-
dad and Cyril silence.
I appreciate your sense of honor,
Cowboys
but the
code, sir.
less said, the better.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Ania will recast her shillelagh on the way, and she'll also ask, and namely towards Cyril and Gelmar and Rue,
Mm-hmm.
Would any of you like your abilities enhanced in any way? I can do it a couple of times.
Would it make me any better at bashing his Rufus's face in?
I can improve your strength.
I'm intrigued, but I'm also kind of concerned. Are you sure you're not going to need that slot for something else?
I may, but I'd rather get these out of the way if anyone needs them. They last an hour.
and under the table she is offering enhance ability, and
Mhm.
for the strength one that would give you advantage to strength checks
Hmm.
for an hour, and it's not concentration.
Oh, so it's
Unfortunately,
checks?
unfortunately, above game, I don't think that's going to help me much in this fight.
Okay.
Hmm.
Besides, I'm probably not the best one to give them to, considering exhaustion means I already have disadvantage on all skill checks and saves as it is.
Oh.
Fair.
A little more wouldn't. Oh, if it's checks, I'm not sure what it would be used for.
Pretty much she can give an advantage to any check, but the only one that's different is Constitution, where you also gain advantage on Constitution checks, but you also gain 2d6 temporary hit points.
Are we doing it before we, Gilmore and I are partnering up with somebody? Because we both have well, Gilmar taught me how to do something, so it'd be better for me to be within really close quarters with somebody. Then maybe the con would be better for me to take what someone else is going to be dealt.
And you'll be like,
I will not say no to someone shielding me.
I'll see what I can
Yum.
do in that regard, he says, still with a groggy face and tone.
Gilmar, who are you taking? Should I take,
He just throws the head of his axe on his shoulder, just turns around. I'll just stand around, or I'll just stick to Nia for the moment. It's how I did the last couple fights anyway.
cool,
He said,
cool.
is still moving up towards the door very, very slowly.
Anya, I would love to have the con one of you. Is that okay?
and she will cast Enhance Ability Bears Endurance on Rue.
Okay.
So, I need to roll this. You get 4 temporary hit points onto your max. And let me make sure I use that. Okay. And you have advantage to Constitution checks for an hour.
Ooh, very nice.
I'll
And that's
either-
how long you have the max HP bonus for.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. I'll have to see, because I'm kind of front fighter. Dang it, maybe I should have gone to... Because Dakota's a backline fighter, but Sapphire?
Ania has something else for Sapphire. Let me see if it's concentration, so I don't think she'd do it. Actually, she could probably do it. Can she cast a concentration spell and hold it while they go in?
Yeah.
Sapphire, would you like fire arrows by chance?
Hell yeah.
All right, and Ania is going to cast Flame Arrow on Sapphire. So she's going to touch the Sapphire's quiver, and it's going to have this green gold glow.
Mhm.
And let me just. I don't need to roll it. I just want to cast. I want to. How do I make it appear in the Let's see.
Oh, there you
Ignore the roll. That's just for damage. But you can look
Okay.
at the. Oh, you can't look at it. Okay.
go. When
When
you're
a target is hit
inside,
by.
when you're inside
Oh.
of your book, or inside your spell book area, you can click the name, and then information.
There we go. So.
Very nice.
Oh, okay. I'll bounce off of this so that we can get a good start, and I'm gonna give guidance because I know I'm not gonna have this con up forever because I'm gonna switch it out later on. But guidance for Dakota so she can defeat, so he can kill somebody.
Jesus
Sapphire,
Christ.
Sapphire for those bows to hit somebody good, and
You had a
Cyril.
teleporter in your group.
Yes, true.
Oh,
Teleporter.
can I just
Yeah, Cyril
cast a
teleports.
guidance on everyone? It is
If it's
is
not
that a thing?
concentration, then yes.
Mine says
Uh,
con.
Mine does not have con on it, and it's just a cantrip, so I can technically just cast guidance for free on
Oh,
everyone.
Sin, mine has con. Can you take it out?
Oh,
Just
hold
kidding.
on.
No, I don't. I would like to just do it if it's not con.
Hold on, let me double check. Because I don't think I looked at.
Because mine is given by something.
Oh, serious?
Oh, is it?
So jelly. Is guidance
Because it's
concentration
normally
or not?
concentration. Was it given by? Is
I'm
it just because you're a
pretty
druid?
Sure. It's something special about druid. I think it's a Circle of Stars thing. I'm trying to look.
Dang it! I wanted to take out concentration. It's okay.
Druid stars. You know the guidance cantrip. Okay, so you do know it, but it does have concentration.
Okay.
I think actually, yeah. Let me double check which one of these have concentration and which ones don't. Foundry making my job
Okay.
harder. I see how it is, Foundry.
Oh, and you thought
Dang
you
it,
were
Foundry.
done.
Whoa, what
You
is
thought you
this?
were done.
Shillelagh. Does not.
Oh, apparently the schools of magic have odd symbols on my spell list now instead of the actual name. Interesting.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Oh, Gilmar, didn't you say you were negative, like on your checks? Maybe did
I
you
have
want
disadvantage
guidance?
on. I have disadvantage on all checks and saves because I have a point of exhaustion.
Oh damn. Sorry, Cyril. Can I give Gilmar the guidance?
I have my own thing for a little extra boost.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yelmar is already pulling out a small stone with a gray glowing sigil. This one you haven't seen before. I think I'll handle my own sustain this time around.
Oh, then I will bless myself.
That's his caffeine rune to get rid of exhaustion.
I know it. It looks
No,
like
I'll
this,
explain what that.
figured.
I'll explain what that does in a minute. Above game, Himson, I'm just going to say I'm preparing to use the hill rune the moment that we step into the building, and you're free to
Fair.
double check on my description what that does when evoked.
Yep. Okay.
Alright, and so guidance is concentration then?
Yes.
Alright, she's going to hang on to that then and let Rue do the guidance stuff. Because she's
Nice,
already
yeah.
doing fire arrows.
Okie dokie. That should be good now for your guys' stuff. Oh, True Strike is also concentration, I think.
Making sure.
Just double checking all of them. I'm like, yeah, there we go. Just gotta make sure that's all good. Okay. Let me double check the Hill Giant rune real quick. So
Actually, what am I saying? Let me post it.
Oh,
There we
well,
go.
that's
It's the
way
second
easier.
effect.
Ooh, very nice. Okay, cool. So, you guys all slowly start preparing. Outside of your room, as you guys are all kind of prepping. Sorry, I'm drinking a lot of water because my throat's acting up. But you guys do hear outside the room, "Woo! We get to kill somebody!" It's very clearly Alexandria kind of rushes into the throne room.
Man, if only we had an illusion to make the vampire look like a clown.
Ah.
Dude.
I was having a good night. We were all having a good night. Hey, Gelmar says, flipping the rune before proceeding to crush it in his claws as they're going in. He is currently cloaked in a dim gray aura now.
Ooh.
Oh.
Sin.
Mhm.
I'm going to assume this is no, but Druidcraft lets me make an instantaneous harmless sensory effect. I assume this is nature related and I cannot invoke the soft honking of clowns.
You could probably get the honking of geese, though.
Oh, goodness.
I have to clip that. I have to clip I had to collect myself real quick. Oh, I'm just imagining that. Jesus. No, you cannot. If you had oh, what was the name of that spell?
Minor illusion or something, the sound one.
No, the one that every sorcerer on the planet has. Prestidigitation. Yeah, I believe that one would allow you to do so. Minor illusion
this is
technically
only-
also would too.
Druidcraft is only for nature sounds.
Fuck me sideways. I was not expecting. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so as you contemplate making clown sounds in this room, yeah, I'm assuming you all make your way into the throne room.
Ania behind Gelmar.
Okay. Does anyone else
Cyril
have a
right up
picking order?
front.
Okay. I'm assuming Cyril, Gelmar, Ania, Dakota, Rue, and Sapphire.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, I am going in.
All right, cool.
Let's
Sounds
go.
Yeah.
Taking out my gun and spinning it.
Shing. All right, you guys all walk in, well, attempt to walk into this room. Essentially, as you guys walk towards this literal horde of people, they have busted this door open, by the way. So, like, both of the massive stone doors are spread wide open. And there are easily over 100 people just kind of like forcing themselves into this massive fucking room. And so you guys kind of like walk into it. And as you do, most of them, like, they turn to look at you as you guys are coming in. And Cyril is a very, very obvious sight, especially when he's on a death walk forwards. So they kind of part the way a little bit for him because no one wants to get in between him and wherever he's going for. Especially, I'm assuming you're taking your elk with you.
No.
Oh, okay.
The elk I'm actually leaving outside the room.
Oh,
cool.
for emergency escape.
Just in case.
Fair enough, fair enough. So, yeah, the elk stays back, but you are a 9-foot titan. So you are walking forward and everyone's kind of giving you breath. And you can see Roderick standing near the throne area, or where the throne should be. He's kind of panting a little bit. He has his staff in both hands, and he's like standing more or less like properly straight up this time instead of his usual hunched motion. And he has a very regal look to him as he's standing there. But then you guys look at where he's looking, and you guys see that where the coffin was is now a beautifully designed throne. It is a stunning, like basically a throne that you guys see in this picture, but it's a stunning gold throne with sigils on it, clearly made from the coffin.
I can't see the map, just so you know.
Really?
It's just a
Have
gray
you guys not been able to see the
blank
map this whole
thing.
time?
I can see the throne room.
Oh,
I
good.
think.
I can see the throne room as well. Maybe refresh the page.
Yeah.
Is it back now?
Let me check. Hold on. I'm refreshing the. Ah, geez. I think I might have broken it more.
Oh no.
How'd you break it?
I don't know. It was a gray screen, but I could still see all my stuff. And now I've Oh wait. Okay. Wait. We have the.
I was gonna say, where are you? I don't see your
Your
tag on the throne room.
your
Tag at the top.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you...
Your browser does not currently support WebGL rendering, which is required by Foundry Virtual Tabletop.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
What the crap?
Which
Well,
browser
that
are
was
you
some-
on?
That was some words.
Firefox.
I'm
Have
on
been this entire
Firefox.
time. At least, I mean, I have all my stuff. Like, I just can't see the map.
A couple weeks ago, I was doing it from the Linux side of my system, and I was using Firefox then too. What the crap?
You could try closing out, or you could try logging out and then logging back in.
Well, it's just the
No.
picture. Like, you can see your character sheet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no actual characters on the board yet.
Yeah. We have a background image instead of a combat image.
Instead of a battle. Yeah.
If it was a combat image,
yeah.
I'd be much more stressed about you not being able to see.
It's just
But,
an image of a pretty throne room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially, I don't know why it's not giving you your thing, but that's.
I mean, worst comes to worst, we could always just post the image of the location in chat or something like that.
Yeah.
I can stream it too.
So, you guys walking here, you see this massive throne, and it's clearly made from the same material, and it also has some of the same sigils and symbols that the coffin had on it on the sides and the back of it. But you see a man standing there. He's easily over 6.5 feet tall, so quite tall for even a vampire, especially since they're usually based on human biology. But he's quite tall. And he is wearing what I can only describe as Victorian style outfit. So it has like a long kind of like one of those almost trench coat like coats, I suppose.
David Bowie from Labyrinth.
Pretty much, yeah. But he has like really slicked back hair that almost like comes down into like a really nicely wild mane of hair. It looks very purposely done in that it's incredibly wild and chaotic and such. And he has like this really just blood red vest on with like a tie on it as well that's like pitch black. And he's sitting there with his hands on the armrests, and he's staring at all of you. And then he slowly stands up to his full height, and you see, Nia, you would recognize this. You see, he's using a harmless sensory effect to make his cape blow in the wind. That's not there.
He respects that.
So he's just standing there, the cape flowing backwards as more and more people kind of flow into this room, and he's staring at all of you, kind of like looking across like the whole everything that the light touches his mind, kind of a look over all of you. Did anyone say anything to him?
Gelmar's just giving him an unimpressed look.
Can I perception or insight check?
What were you looking for?
Either something that could any sort of weakness or just gauging his attitude in general.
Okay, feel free to do insight.
Okay. Like either of those I'll be fine with. I'll only do one. Where did insight go there?
God damn.
Nice.
So you're looking at him, and you can see he smiles, and his fangs are also abnormally long. very much so an intimidation factor, it looks like, for most people, which is working very well for 90% of the people in this room. You can hear the sweat dripping off of some of them from the sheer terror and presence that he has over this entire room. And he is acting fucking jovial. He is acting like he is a king of the castle kind of a position. He has absolutely no concern in any way, shape, or form. He is more relaxed than the fucking elk is outside. He is standing there like it is his birthday. He is happy-go-lucky at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And he says
And
nothing.
and the coffin is just shattered, or
It's
You don't see the
transformed
calf.
into the
Yeah.
throne.
Effectively, it looks like the coffin was transmogrified into a throne.
gotcha.
He was like, I'm not sleeping there anymore.
You guys can practically
Is-
hear a pin drop in the absolute silence that is reigning over the room.
Oh, are the people not attacking at all?
No, they're all good 30 feet away from him. They've all kind of bunched up, and they're like 30 feet plus away from the throne, and they're all just kind of standing there waiting. And Roderick is probably more like 15 feet away from the throne, and he's kind of like holding, still, like staring down the vampire.
Okay. How close are we in the back of the crowd? How close are we to Roderick?
They pretty much were parting for you guys, so however close you guys want to be.
All right, Cyril. That would be everyone's behind Cyril.
Cyril's getting up right next to Roderick.
Okay, so
Um,
exiting the crowd.
and the hard stone floor, you can hear the of his hooves on the stone while he's stepping forward.
And he would keep up with Cyril even if Gelmar stays behind.
Oh no,
But
Gelmar does not know what this is. He does not fear it at the moment.
I don't know who that guy is.
To him, this is just a guy with really weird prosthetics.
yeah, wherever a leader goes, we're going too.
Yeah, Dakota was told not to say anything, so he's just gonna like walk with like Cyril and Anea and stuff. Just gonna look like a cool, stoic cowboy, his poncho flowing in the wind, his hat tipped downwards. He's holding his gun.
Very nice, very nice. And Sapphire, are you in the far back of the group of 6, or are you like in the middle somewhere? Where's your character?
Mostly
just the small ones.
I can't tell you where I'd be in place of the group, but I know I'm in with the group.
Okay.
Fair
So
enough.
you're with everyone.
Arrow notched in my bow already.
All right.
Very fair. All right. So you guys kind of part from the crowd a little bit, and you guys kind of walk up to Roderick, and you guys can see the just deep look of concern and damn near fear on his face as you guys walk up to him. And the Vampire Lord, as you guys walk upwards, his eyes move over to your group as you guys part the crowd. Still not saying anything, just looking at you and smiling.
Who are you that
Okay. No, go ahead.
pretends to sit on that throne as if you still rule this place?
Who am I? Who am I, you ask? I will tell you who I am. I am the Lord of Eternity and Despair. Regis Vulpin Sanguine of the Sacred E. Jonathan Marsley III, first of his name, Esquire. The second.
How can you be first of the name yet also the second?
My father had very interesting relations with his father, and his father, honestly, his father was a commoner and they didn't understand the rulings of numbers.
So your name is Regis?
No, my name is E.
Oh.
Ania offers her last healing potion to Roderick.
Roderick kind of waves his head a little bit. He's like, I'm fine.
Okay, she pockets it.
But you may call me the Lord of Eternity and Despair, Regis Vulpin Sanguine of the Sacred E. Jonathan Mosley the Third, first of his name, Esquire the Second.
E?
I
Yes.
definitely
The legendary
could not.
E.
Gilmer's just like
Oh.
staring at this, just completely bored, considering half asleep. Just looks back to the rest of the group, she's like, I never understood why some people are just this obsessed with chairs.
Oh. He says that we can tell him by that, but I don't think I can.
Well, I mean, you could call me Ezekiel, but that name ran away. That name ran away a long time ago. So, you know, Vulpin. It kind of like pulls out paper. The Lord of Eternity and Despair, Regis Vulpin, Sanguine of the Sacred E. Jonathan Mercy. How did I write that? Like he reaches into a pocket and pulls out a pen, and then it doesn't do anything. He's like, "Fuck! How long was I in that coffin?" Anyone have
Long
a writing
enough
tone?
that
Pencil?
for someone so legendary, I've never heard of you.
Well, of course you haven't heard of me. This son of a bitch trapped me in the coffin for 200 years. Does anyone have a writing implement? Anyone? Like 200 people in here. Anyone? No?
Ania, do I have a writing implement? I should.
You almost certainly do.
Yeah, Ania takes one out and sort of rolls it across the ground. She does not leave the group, but she does like roll it across the ground over to him.
Oh, thanks. And you see it just kind of lifts up into the air. It floats over to him. And you see you recognize this because you've been around a lot of spellcasters. That's Mage Hand. As it
Cyril
kind of floats over to
messages
him.
Roderick during this exchange.
Mhm.
I'm extremely confused. What's the play here?
He's gonna kind of say back into your head, do not underestimate him. He is one of the most powerful creatures, arguably, on the entire planet right now.
I'm gonna telepathically ask if I could shoot him.
you see Roderick look at you with quite possibly the most concerned face you've ever seen someone give you. He just slowly shakes his head.
Aw, he's a wuss.
Hey, you see, I'm gonna call him Vulpin, I suppose.
Oh, it wasn't an E?
Yeah, Regis Vulpin Sanguine of the Sacred E. I suppose I could call him Sacred. I don't know. We're gonna call him E. So
I'm
E
sorry,
kind of.
all I heard just now was Regis Philbin.
So he kind of holds the quill, I suppose, in his hands, and he starts writing. Okay, Sanguine, Regis. You know, that's how it's spelled. Marceline. Marceline? Someone give me a good M name. Anyone?
I think it's
Mortis.
supposed. Oh, that works.
What was that?
Mortis.
Mortis. I like you, Jonathan Mortis the Third. That's way more intimidating. Thank you. The name is Lord of Eternity and Despair, Regis Vulpin, Sanguine of the Sacred E. Jonathan Mortis the Third, first of his name, Esquire the Second. Ah, that's way more intimidating. He closes his book. You're not quite sure what it is. It looks like a weird, almost book-like thing, but the paper is not quite right, and he kind of puts it back in his coat. Anyways, whew, it has been a while since I've been out of that coffin. It's like being fed luxury meat for the rest of my life. Who the fuck opened it? I want to congratulate you with a high five, a handshake, and your spleen out of your body.
And
You
Nia
guys
does
don't know
not
what spleen
look
is,
at
huh?
anyone.
Dakota stays quiet.
No one. You know what? If you tell me who opened the coffin, I will give you a present.
Was it the spleen?
Does he not remember who he made direct eye contact with?
He
No.
just woke up.
That's fair.
The spleen is not present. The spleen, in fact, is a gift. I suppose a
Delmar just,
gift and a
like,
present would
mutter
be the same, huh?
Gilmar just like muttering under his breath, and woke up the entire camp while he was at it. We were having such a good rest.
Ah, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to disturb your beauty sleep, my good sir.
Dakota's just clutching his gun under his poncho.
You see, he is absolutely in no way, shape, or form seem the slightest bit intimidating. You see Alexandra slowly start walk up, and she's like, "And what if I did it, huh?"
Oh no.
Does anyone say anything?
No, I did it. Rue's gonna walk forward. She doesn't know who did it. Wait,
Oh,
or maybe
Cyril
Well, she
someone told
totally
her.
puts a hand out.
Oh no, but I don't want anyone to get hurt.
They will get hurt if they decide to let themselves get hurt. Let adults do what adults do.
But aren't we fighting?
Well, no one's fighting yet.
I'm not sure what we're doing.
Dakota thinks for a moment.
Yeah, you see him slowly look over
Insight
Alexandria.
check on Dakota.
Feel free, yeah.
I would like to know if Dakota is about to step forward and say anything.
I feel like Dakota's about to get beamed in the skull.
Oh, he's
damn.
absolutely about to step forward right now.
Ania doesn't hit him because we might be going to battle, but she like swings her staff suddenly and it like stops like in front of Dakota's face.
Oh, beautiful. Dakota, I assume you just fucking stop where you are.
So Dakota's gonna push the staff down. He's
Ania
gonna
looks
take...
over. Yeah,
Do
go
I-
ahead, go ahead.
Do I feel that happening around me?
Yeah.
Dakota's definitely going to hear inside his head, if you utter a single word, I will cripple you myself.
Oh,
Not kill, cripple.
oh
We're trying to
boy.
tell the truth and trying to protect others, but it's no good.
I have to make up for this, sir.
This won't
I was-
make up for anything.
I was the one who let the vampire out, and I'm the one putting him back in.
And that's all
That's
in his
not
head.
putting
so.
him back in
Yeah.
at all.
You see he looks over Alexandria and he's just like, "You did, my lady. All right, everyone, give her a round of applause. Everyone. You see, like no one moves, and he's like, ah. That. He looks over at Nia. You round of applause?
She didn't say she did it. She just asked what if she did do it.
Ah, you are right. You're very correct. Did you do it? She just kind of looks at him and she just goes, yes? It's like, that's not convincing, girl. And anyone has a more convincing way of saying. One person like puts his hand up. He's like, I did it, you son of a bitch. He's like, there you go. And the guy explodes.
Oh,
Okay.
His entire
Oh.
body like turns into like red mist and just paints like the 6 people that's around him.
no.
Just completely just nuclear like pops like a balloon.
Ania looks at Dakota.
You hear a lot of screaming, by the way.
Roderick hears in his
Lord.
head. Roderick hears in his head again. What are we going to do?
I honestly don't know. He is really good at killing. It took 7 spellcasters and 2 knights to put him down last time. Diplomacy might be the best option here.
What about fire arrows? Telepathically.
That might work, but it might not.
Enya will chirp up from behind Gelmar's like,
Well, you got the guy. Can the rest of us leave?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't really know why you're all here. This is kind of my throne. I don't... Like, why are you guys here?
Enya looks to Roderick.
Butcher kind of looks over at her. He looks back at her. He's just like, we have been awaiting your arrival for hundreds of years. Yeah. The vampire lord kind of looks at him. He just goes,
Cyril's gonna
Hmm?
kind of start going along with this and give a deep bow.
fantastic! Ah,
Good
I knew that
Lord,
someone was
eat.
feeding me for so many years. It was like getting in bed lunches and stuff. It was fantastic. He kind of looks at the people who are now covered in another person's bodily fluids and he goes, y'all might want to clean up a little bit. I do apologize. I was more making a statement than anything else. You can't really bring him back. I do apologize for that. Yeah, alright. But the rest of you, I mean, feel free to leave if you want to. I don't know why you guys are still in this throne room. Anyone want to be my personal servants? I would love to have someone. It's been hundreds of years. No one makes a single move.
Enya looks back to Roderick.
Do we leave?
Yeah?
Are you okay with that?
Be really hard to put him back in the ground. Might have to think of a way to do it when I'm not spooked. Somebody opened his coffin while I wasn't looking. I was not prepared for this.
Enya looks around at the crew. She's not sure if they should stay or go.
Rue is looking back. She turned back and she looked at the blood splatter.
Mhm.
There, she is not smiling.
Oh no!
He killed someone. Someone's been feeding him. That's not good. It doesn't feel right.
Gelmar is still staring at him a lot more seriously than a moment before, but definitely still has visible bags under his eyes.
Well, if no one wants to be my servant, well, I mean, I suppose I can do things of my own for a little while. Reminds me of my Elden days. Or not Elden. What's the word?
Cyril's going to stand up to his full height
Mhm.
and step forward a couple of steps.
He seems to be deep
Your
in thought at the
lordship,
moment.
Your Lordship, I come as a representative of the Order of the Briar.
The Briar, you say? Oh, I haven't heard that name in... How long was I in that coffin? Feels like yesterday. How's it doing, by the way? There's still folks still running around being weirdos?
You could say that.
Glad
As
to hear.
Karnix of the 8th Legion, I regret to inform you that there is a great deal of trouble in your particular fiefdom.
Oh? He kind of leans forwards. Tell me more.
There is a small hamlet not far from here named Stillwater.
Mm-hmm.
We have reason to believe that a small splinter cell of... We're not entirely sure if they're simply cultists or if it is a larger organization, though we are leaning towards the latter of the two.
Interesting, yes.
They are attempting to sacrifice the entire hamlet
Those sons
to
of
summon
bitches.
something. Whatever it is will not be good for your continued rule in this area.
Those fiendish fools. I knew I shouldn't have given them so much power.
What?
People. No? Alright, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Gelmar just like activating his message
Insight
earring to send a message to
Yeah.
Cyril.
Oh,
What
yeah.
are you doing? I don't trust this man to serve as a guardian or fighter against whatever it is that's attacking the hamlet. I think he'd be more likely to just try and eat a resident himself.
Right now, I'm trying to turn a negative as close to a positive as I can.
Enya will chirp up while they're talking to each other.
Oh, do you know who's attacking it?
Not in the slightest.
Oh, who did you give power to?
He kind of looks at you for a moment, and you can see like a blank look go across his face for a second. He's like, who did I give power to? I have to think about that.
Okay.
I like you. You're smart. What's your name, kid?
She pauses. Is there
She
anything
hears
I...
in
Yeah.
her head, do not tell him your name. Make something up.
Enya will bow her head, and she will say,
Oh, Lord of Eternity and Despair, Regis Vulpine Sanguine of the Sacred E, Jonathan Mortis the Third, first of his name Esquire the Second, I don't think I'm worthy to give you my name.
Wow! Did you just memorize that?
Wow.
Hold on.
He kind of looks
Whoa.
at you and legit, like you can feel legitimate pride coming off him. He goes, someone remembered it for the first time. Yes, I knew my awesomeness would be awesome. You are now awesome enough to give me your name, child. I appreciate you. You can see actual tears coming down off his face.
ooh.
Oh, I am just a humble druid. You may call me druid if you so desire.
Druid! That's actually very easy to remember. I don't remember people's names very well. This guy's asshole, he points to Roderick. But I like Druid. I remember you, Druid. You're very adorable. I like that you remembered my whole name. I need to make it longer. He pulls out his book. It's like, I don't have anything, make it longer. Fuck it. I'll do that next. Hey, what, you were talking about Hamlet? Fucking Hamlet. So I was trying to make a whole sacrifice thing. Is it like tiny sigil, or is it like buildings?
I'm going
whole
to
town.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. I got this. What did I do when I was a cleric?
What?
a cleric of what?
No, don't worry about that. You won't know it.
Could I tell what kind of cleric he is?
You're
feel it.
welcome to try.
I
You
would
can roll
like to
history
do
if you
so.
like.
He says
Oh,
that, and the
don't
only
ask
thought
me that.
he says that, and the first thought that crosses my mind is he's death domain. There's nothing else that makes sense.
Oh, not history. Is there a way for me to like feel it out?
Let's see.
Like, oh no, even my religion is no bueno.
It would be either history or religion.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's just try it. Oh
Oof.
shit.
Oh no.
You recall nothing. You got absolutely nothing. You got if he was a cleric, he was in fact
Oh wow.
some kind of cleric, probably.
Thinking
The
it's hard.
wall is made of wall.
Can
And let's
I
not forget that floor. It looks very flory.
Was
Can
that the
I-
good?
Um,
can I try figuring it out? What kind of
You would have very high
DC.
DC history.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I have a good old +2 there, though I could try looking more at the magic something.
I could do Arcana.
I could try Arcana.
You
I have the
you
same
you can
bonus in
see
Arcana.
undead and a few other ones, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm familiar with this stuff through it being my job to look for this stuff, kind of.
That's true.
Undead,
Yeah, you could do
celestial,
Arcana.
elemental faith.
See if you can
Yeah.
divinate anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll stare at this. Heck yeah.
All right. You can tell
Oh,
his magic's weird, man. Mage Hand is not really used on anything except for wizards and sorcerers. Definitely not vampires. Vampires don't have Mage Hand. That's not something they normally have, ever. And you're fairly confident that whatever he did to make the person explode is something you've never heard of, or witnessed, or understand in any way, shape, or form. It just kind of existed there. Both are definitely not vampiric abilities in any way, shape, or form. He's like, well, I mean, if you want to sacrifice something, you really gotta go a couple routes, you know? You can either sacrifice people, you can sacrifice sheep, you can sacrifice your loved ones, you can sacrifice, well, you can sacrifice a rock if you loved it enough, I guess. Are they sacrificing rocks?
Unfortunately, no.
Dang.
It is very clearly the lives of the citizens of that village.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Do they like it?
No.
Ah, well, we can scratch off Succubi then.
We have reason to believe
Yes, he like
that
leans in
this
even closer to you.
may have something to do with a larger organization above game. It was something wyvern.
Yeah, the Obsidian Wyverns.
The obsidian. We have reason to believe that it has something to do with a much larger organization. Does the obsidian wyvern ring any bells?
Ooh, you are touching my fancy, boy. He like leans up again. He like stretches. I haven't heard of them for. Okay, seriously, how long was I in that fucking coffin? And he looks at Roderick specifically.
For far too long, my lord.
You're right. I haven't heard that name in far, far too long. But yeah, I do vaguely recall them. I believe that they were a thing about dragon cult or whatever it was. Kind of weird. Yeah, I haven't seen one in quite some time, but yeah, they had a passion for dragons. I don't know what exactly this passion was. I killed them before they looked at me, and that was when. Actually, was that barbarian? Maybe I was a cleric. I might have still been a cleric. They were kind of evil. It just kind of looks off into the distance for a second, staring at nothing in particular except that he's locking eyes with one of the random people in the room.
why would the clerics be evil? That
Oh,
doesn't
no.
sound right.
When I was a cleric, I hunted exclusively evil bullshit.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that
yeah,
sounds about right.
yeah. I stabbed many vampires in the hearts. And werewolves. I stabbed a lot of things in the heart, actually. Some of them may have been people. Anyways, yeah, so,
Forgive my lack of decorum, sir, but you hunted your own?
Oh, I wasn't a vampire then.
Ah.
Yeah. I was a werewolf once. That was fun.
Interesting.
And looks back to Roderick and around to see if anything has changed or if Roderick is thinking it was trying to like leave or something.
Roderick seems slightly more relaxed, I suppose, considering he's doesn't appear to be massively murdering. You guys seem to be somewhat getting along with him, but his grip on his staff is bone white on his knuckles. He is holding this shit like it is lifeline. You also see like half the group at this point has probably dispersed, just kind of left the room after what's his face exploded.
Mhm.
Alexandra is like right at the front holding her gray axe with a big old smile and staring at him. You're not quite sure if it is a look of I want to kill you or if it's a look of something else. Yeah, it's very hard to tell with her. I do enjoy our talk, but if you guys got like summoning circles and shit to deal with, I mean, I'm happy to watch the castle.
Nia will look to the group and she'll like whisper like,
I think we can go.
Rue is frowns at that.
I know, I feel it too, but it doesn't mean we can't come back.
How many people have stayed behind that we're pretty sure are competent?
That are competent? I mean, they're all bandits, so there's some level of competence in all of them. But people who
Alexandria's level of competent.
5.
Okay.
Yeah. Cade, Alexandria, and a couple others who are either really heavily decked out, or you can just tell by looking at them, they've seen some shit and they've been through it. The rest of them look to be either they're there because they've been there for a long time and they appear to have some level of skill as bandits, or they're mercenaries and you get about 50-50 flip on whether or not they're competent or they'll die in 2 seconds.
how's Cade look?
Cade is very jovial. He's just kind of fiddling around with his knives and such. The moment that the guy died, he put away his knives.
He's like, "Ugh."
He's like
gonna-
staying next to Alexandria with his arms folded. He doesn't look particularly happy at the moment.
will
Roderick
go-
hears in his head one more time.
Hmm.
Roderick, just how outmatched are all of us together?
If it was daytime, we would easily kill him. Since it's nighttime, give him 20 minutes and he'll have the entire building full of wolves.
Nia, not aware of the conversation, will go up to Roderick, like right
Mhm.
up to him, like,
Do you want to just go?
Yes. And he like looks up at
She'll-
the vampire lord.
no, go ahead.
Oh no, he's just looking up at him.
All right, Nia will like grab like is he wearing like a cloak? She can grab like the edge of.
Roderick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, she grabs like the edge of a cloak and slowly starts like walking to the door, very slowly.
I'm gonna use the thing to talk to kind of everyone, and
Mhm.
especially Roderick too,
Mhm.
and say, Roderick, I just assumed that what he says when he was being fed that it was you keeping it.
It's either that he
Means that
broke out.
Hmm?
It's either that or he broke out.
You're saying that you didn't feed it?
No, I did. And you hear no remorse in that voice whatsoever.
And you know now that you have to deal with your consequences of your choices, right?
And Nia sighs and looks to Rue and says out loud because she doesn't like using the stones, like,
It was either that or he got out earlier.
Are you sure? If he wasn't fed, would it really be out?
and Nia shrugs.
You're
See,
making assumptions.
You see E just kind of sit down in his chair, put his hands behind his head, and he goes, "Ah." I mean, it was very effective sealing. You guys were whispering, by the way, so like the fact that he's heard you is Honestly,
Oh,
impressive.
he's using the stones for everybody.
Oh, no,
but
he
Yeah,
heard
Nia was-
Ania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he could read minds too.
But he kind of puts the heavy on his head. He's like, yeah, I could have left any time, but it's like having indoor dinery and such. And these sigils, real strong. They were real tough. I had 200 years though. Real tough. I like you, Druid. Don't question me.
Yes, sir.
And she'll look back at Rue.
I like being thrown king castle thing. All you guys are now my servants. Fuck off. You see all the normal mooks just immediately fuck off, while like Cade, Alexandria, a couple others are standing there looking like left and right. And you see Roderick looking. He's like, "You heard the man, vampire. What the fuck are you, vampire? You heard the vampire. Fuck off." He's just walking with Ania.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll continue to head towards and she doesn't go too far until she makes sure everyone is following.
Okay.
Rue stands there and she watches them walk away.
Ania will
Oh.
not continue walking away if Rue's going to stand there.
Mm-hmm.
Just looks at the blood splatter at the person who had been killed.
It
And
is
then-
pretty. It's a pretty thick splatter of blood.
She figures that Revivify maybe wouldn't bring that one back.
I believe you would need true resurrection if they don't have a body anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure above game, Revivify directly requires A, they were alive within the past minute, and B, their body is fully intact, or at least intact enough to be functional.
And he will sigh and let go of Roderick's cape and turn back to E and be like,
Your lordship, may I ask a question of thee?
Oh, of course you can, Druid. I quite enjoy your presence. I may use you as a royal advisor.
and she doesn't respond to that, but she'll look to the blood splatter and she'll look back like,
Why did you harm the person that opened your coffin, sire?
Oh, it wasn't because he opened my coffin. It's because he was a filthy, dirty liar and an asshole.
Oh, I see. Thank you for answering.
Oh, not a problem. I like it when people are nice. Assholes deserve to die. Well, most of the time. Unless they're a really nice asshole. Like, I'm a nice asshole, more or less. I also deserve to die. But, that's above and beyond.
you will look back to see if Rue has changed her mind at all.
She flicks her eyes from the blood splatter to the vampire. But
He kind of like catches your eye as you look over him, and he slowly starts to smile before he stands up and he walks over to you. You seem confused, child. What's on your mind?
I have no confusions. There are many things on my mind, but I suppose today you will not hear of them. She will keep her eyes on him, not smiling, and will take steps back, not in fear, but just leaving. And
I
then
see. He reaches into his cloak and he pulls out was clearly a wooden stake and holds it out to you.
she stops, looks at him.
He holds a very casual grin towards you as he does so.
You're giving this to me?
I want to see if you want to kill me. Don't worry, I won't kill you for wanting to. I want to kill a lot of people. You're very honest. I like that.
I'm just wondering, But you were once a cleric, and you
I
know
was.
that's the feeling, right? Of wanting to help, doing good work.
What kind of
But you've
cleric
changed.
did you think I was?
What has changed?
Girl, when I was a cleric, I hunted monsters. I didn't try
Yes?
to help people. What are you talking about? Helping people is for the shits.
Why is it the shits?
I mean, you help someone, they look at you, and then they don't even say thank you. It's very annoying.
Mm.
I
I've
saved
never felt the
entire
need to say
towns. I
thank
saved
you.
entire cities, and they look at me like I was a fucking monster just because I turned into a werewolf.
Is this man part of the Order
Which one?
of the Briar?
He was not, no.
Okay.
Did it hurt you that they would not say thank you and that they saw you as something else?
Eh, I got used to it. After a couple millennia, you get used to pretty much anything.
Even I have these marks. And sometimes, people are not that nice. But I like to be able to help. And I like doing this. And even when people don't say thank you, I'll still go and help. You don't feel that?
You are a very kind soul, you know that? This is not your line of work.
I think this is exactly where I have to be.
I like you. If you wish to, go ahead and try and kill me. He again hands the one stake towards you.
I am truthful. And thank you for saying so. It does. I know, even in my intelligence or lack thereof, I would not be able to win this fight. But I will not say that I will forget this. If you hurt people, then I have responsibilities and duties.
How do you feel about your teammates hurting people? I guarantee you not a single one of them is clear blood.
Well, it's true. Even in the future, I will make mistakes too. But when they make mistakes, I won't judge them too harshly. Not because that they don't deserve it, but everybody makes mistakes. It depends. Consequences or actions have consequences, but I don't have to destroy somebody just because they make one mistake if they can't atone for it.
He kind of flips the stake into the air before like opening his cape and letting it fall into it. He's like, but you see, Missy. And he gently pats your shoulder. It's not a mistake when someone dies. It's a purposeful action. And he turns around and he starts walking towards his throne again. If you count it as a mistake every single time, ain't no one going to be someone you kill. And he sits down and kind of leans his head on his hand and stares directly into your eyes. Every single one of
did
us
not
has
say
more blood
that.
on their hands than I can say.
I did not say that. Well, sorry if I had intended that way, but no. There can be mistakes, and there can be purposeful actions, but everything has a different weight to it.
I see. Well, when one of your allies kills someone in cold, hard blood, feel free to come back. I am so curious on what they'll do to your pretty little mind. You are a fascinating creature. What's your name?
Rue's gonna get the same warning from Cyril.
I feel like I shouldn't tell you my name, but I will let you know and promise that even when that day does come, I'll do the best that I can and help the ones that I care for. And I'll come back, and maybe I will talk to you about how I tried to do the right thing, and hopefully it was right for them too.
I'm gonna call you possessed.
I shall see you another time then. Goodbye.
Kind of leans back in his chair, and he has the most jovial, childish smile you've ever seen on somebody. He is not taking this in any way serious.
But she
Andia
does.
will-
And she
Andia-
goes ahead, she turns around, and she walks away.
All right. Andia goes back to making sure everyone is following.
There's a
Caden,
determination in her eyes, knowing what she needs, and she goes.
Caden and Alexandria are right at the back of the group, depending on who is in what order. And Cade has an uncharacteristically serious look on his face, while Alexandria just looks slightly disappointed. But you all exit the throne room, and Alexandria goes and grabs one door and slowly pulls it closed, and then grabs the other one and slowly pulls it closed until the throne room is empty. She kind of looks at the rest of you. Oh boy, that motherfucker was hot.
Not in the mood. Gilmar just is with an tired and irritated tone.
Oh.
Roderick,
See him breathe out for once. Oh, I got a raid. Hello, Arcane Sundries. Hold on just a moment, ladies and gents, while I do my raid stuffs. Arcane Attack, well, your stream is going well. Absolutely. I appreciate you guys being here. Welcome to our Dungeons and Dragons. You guys were also streaming Dungeons and Dragons. I hope that your stream also went well. You guys had some serious fun. Our party just interacted with a vampire lord, and we had a really interesting character interaction there. But if you guys have not seen us before, hello, this is Purgatory Corner, or Sinspeaks, as I am the leader of it for the most part. We do all kinds of streams, from D&D to tabletop RPGs to my brother is running, to Phasmophobia, other group games, Raft eventually, Minecraft, solo games like Celeste and Hyperlight Drifter, and a few other games. So we're a variety channel. Every Friday we do a D&D stream called Tyrant's Wrath, which is the only stream that we're doing for the month, because I'm doing a whole lot of other stuff on in the background. And we have our wonderful players here. I hope that your stream has gone well. Love your layout and art. That is Dakota's domain there. So Dakota is my sister Colty, and she made all the art aside from Gelmar's that you guys can see on this entire channel here. Absolutely amazing. 100%. All the credit goes towards her. So I'm glad that you guys love it. But yeah, if you guys want some more context to everything going on, feel free to go to our YouTube channel, Tables of Tartarus, to see all the other episodes. You guys can watch them while you guys are doing dishes or doing house chores or eating or whatever have you, if you guys want to binge it. And you know, you guys have a whole lot of context. You guys also have the ability to type in !heroes in order to get to know each of our characters a little bit better. It'll show you all the different character names. Then you can do ! character name in order to see more about that character as well. Just finished playing our Strixhaven game. Well, luckily passed our magic exams. Fuck yeah, I've never done Strixhaven, but I hear that's pretty fun. So we're going to be continuing here. The group just left the interaction with a vampire lord, and our resident silver dragonborn Galmar is exhausted. So, but yeah, Alexandra kind of looks at you. She's like, "Oh, you're a party pooper, but that's okay. I like party poopers."
Rue's writing down a note
Oh, believe me,
to come back.
Oh, believe me, if that dork had said another single word, I would have thrown his axe all the way across the courtroom, and I don't care if it would have split that chair.
Ooh. Kate just kind of baps on the back of the head and he's like, right, we're having a day.
Roderick,
Just- Yes.
there's a bit of an edge to Cyril's voice.
Roger kind of looks over at you. Also, I love the bumpy bum music, but Roger looks over at you, and he's just like, yes. And he looks tired. He's back to his hunched over form. And he's back to just looking exhausted, and his age seems to have been catching up to him.
That creature said it was being fed.
Indeed.
I can only imagine that you were feeding it.
Uh-huh.
Were
Why
you
would
feeding it those people from Stillwater?
No. He almost looks insulted by that statement. But he looks at you and he goes, when someone fails the mirror exam, their mind is destroyed. Their body becomes a husk, effectively in stasis of sorts. So we take the husk of a body and we gave it to him. It's a very effective measure.
Apologies. I had to ask.
I understand.
Do you have a place you can go?
Well, he seems to not care too much about what happens in the castle, so in theory we can stay here, especially during the sun, but yeah, one of the reasons that we imprisoned him in the first place is that, well, you saw his power. He is concerning, to say the least. He's also, how do you say, unhinged.
from all this time do you not know how to deal with this vampire?
No. That coffin was our last measure of security, effectively. If we want to contain him again, we could in theory go with a coffin, but nothing
Have
really
you
puts it down.
notified anybody? Have you notified any cities for help?
What about ending a problem?
You really think you could end that guy?
I'm willing to try.
Last
I'm
time that
also
we
willing.
fought him, we had 7 major spellcasters, 2 knights, as well as a single king, all of which who were trying to beat him to an inch of his life. We lost 3 of the spellcasters, the king was handicapped, and the knights, well, I would say that they were morphed together, except that it became an abomination of nature that we had to light on fire and then banish to a different realm entirely to ensure that it didn't continue to kill everything.
What is he likely to do?
Honestly, I don't know.
What did he do in the past?
I also don't know.
Did you attack him for no reason?
We had, I suppose it wasn't quite rumors, but it was when I was much younger, back when I was just out being a child. I believe I was in my mid-30s, if I recall correctly. And we had gotten a lot of rumors that he had been going around, and we're not quite sure what he was doing, but everywhere he came from had a wake of death and destruction of all shapes and kinds. And when a vampire lord is going around willy-nilly ripping things apart, well, you don't put much credence into the idea that they're safe. But all the rumors
you
that
know
we
for-
had,
And you know for certain it was the vampire?
he was the only thing that was consistent in all the different stories. Everywhere he went, death followed.
Hmm.
What happened before he became a vampire, we have no records of. Any information that we've been trying to seek out is simply not there. Cyril, roll me a history check.
Hang on.
May I roll a religion check to try and figure out what god it was? Because a cleric has to be aligned with a god, and
Mhm.
so far he's given us information that he didn't help people, he only killed monsters and evil monsters at that.
Mhm.
Right.
Feel free to roll me a religion check. Cyril, you vaguely recall a monster hunter in the past, but you don't recall any specifics. You recall back in the time of your Briar that there was a monster hunter that was very good at their job. But aside from that, you don't know much else. In terms of
Wait,
religion,
is there enough time? Oh
Hmm?
wait, no, go ahead. Oh, it's her turn. That's fine.
in terms of religion check, you don't know many gods, especially by name. Most of them by name have been gone from years on end. Any of the very, very old kind of gods that you may have read from the library or something like that, none of them really seem to fit. There's a lot of different hunters of various different varieties, and there's hunting gods and stuff, but almost all of them either focus on hunting wildlife, so circle of life kind of situation, or basically nature gods to a degree. And none of that seems to quite line up with what he was talking about.
Okay.
Is there enough time that I could redo divination? Was that her whole rest and everything enough time?
I believe so. I'll let you do it. Was divination do again?
Talking to my friend.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, feel free.
I'd like to ask the question that was, well, I'm gonna think of it. So, was the vampire lord the one who was causing death and destruction to humans? Because we, and was he like specifically just killing monsters? Like, was
Hmm?
he just in his ways, or was he actually like a murderous person?
The response that you would get, which is the usual like warmth in the room kind of a thing, as you're praying to it, is you're asking essentially, was he the one who was killing all the people, and what is he being truthful about being a vampire hunter? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would hear in your head kind of that your friend's voice, your God's voice of saying, the truth is a fickle thing. He is telling the truth as he knows it.
As the vampire lord knows it.
Mhm.
What? Wait. So the
Would
vampire lord knows that he was a monster hunter, and that he just wasn't thanked. But did he say anything about the deaths of people though?
would Rue have shared that?
She goes and she puts her. She'll take out her bell
Mhm.
that has no ringing sound and will shake it. And this is what she did before when she was doing divinations. I don't know. I guess I don't know if anyone's even seen her do it yet,
I
since she
believe
was
so.
alone in the room before. But she just says before, I guess, I'm going to ask friend. Friend says, I asked friend if the vampire lord was the one who had caused all the deaths and the death and destruction of people, and was only hunting monsters. Friend says that the truth is as the vampire lord knows it, which would be monster hunter, and maybe, I'm not sure about people.
That could mean his memory isn't completely reliable.
But it's the
Which
truth as the
means
vampire lord knows it, right? So the vampire, he would know, but
well,
Roderick wouldn't know.
Or what he was doing, he believed he was hunting monsters.
mm-hmm.
And the truth is as he knows it, though. So if he was hunting monsters, then he was. Isn't that what that means?
No. The truth is as he knows it generally means that he believes it to be true, but there's a chance it may not be. So sometimes when people lie, they aren't actually lying. They just believe the wrong thing.
Help DM. What is what is the truth as a vampire lord knows it? Isn't that if the
That's
vampire lord thinks it, it's true?
that says much as you got.
Oh my gosh, I'm left in the water. Someone throw a safe boat.
Someone
Oh,
throw a line.
line.
That's all you get from your friend is the truth is as he knows it.
As he knows it. But if he knows it, then it's true. Then that's what it is.
He
So
believes it's
what are
true.
monsters in his mind?
Well, before
It's a
he said
very good
monster
question.
hunter, right? And then
Yeah,
Mhm.
but what are monsters in his mind?
well, monsters would be monsters though, right? Because that's the truth.
No, because it's what he would believe. He was taught to fight these things. He
I
calls
think there's a little
called
bit
them
of
monster.
I think there's a little bit of truth to it. I do vaguely remember long time
Get
ago
my
there
glasses
being
back.
I do vaguely remember there being a particularly I can't remember if he was famous or infamous as a monster hunter, but I think there's bits and pieces that have warped in his mind.
Ania will perk up and be,
How old are the guilds?
How long ago was this particular hearing?
No, if he was a monster hunter, he would be part of the Swords of Carmine. Maybe they have really old records.
He predates the Swords of
You would
Shoot.
all know that general knowledge, all the guilds were made 800 years ago. So
oh,
technically,
he doesn't.
yeah.
Oh.
Wait,
In theory, he might be older than that. But at least to the best of y'all's knowledge so far, it sounds like he would probably be within the last 800 years. He's at least within the last 200 based on Cyril's knowledge.
I definitely need the truth to be able to judge him fairly. I don't want to think of him as someone who is a murderer if it wasn't true.
Well, he's already a murderer. He killed someone right there.
That is true.
I was going to say, regardless of what one might do or say, that lie could just as well have been an act of defense of another, and that hardly justifies destruction.
Definitely was not just the way
I
that person
think
had died.
I think whoever he may have been once would want this warped version of himself to be taken care of. And I don't mean with food and wine.
I don't think we should discuss that particular thing in front of the door.
I assume as we've been having this discussion, we've slowly been moving back towards our bedrooms, right?
Have
Yeah,
we?
that's kind of what I assumed.
Okay. Okay, so we're we're away from the door. Okay, then
Mhm.
Ania would be like,
Well, there's only a real simple decision to make. Do we try something when it's done, or do we leave?
I would find not to forget about this. If they have purpose in making destruction and death before, then they may do it again. They shouldn't just be ignored for the actions that they've made in the murder.
Much as I don't exactly condone the end objective of Roderick, I don't think I'd be able to live with myself if I didn't at least try to pacify him.
We'll look to. Is Roderick and Kate and Alexandria coming with us?
Yeah, they're staying a little bit away from you guys, talking amongst themselves, but they're still fairly close to you.
Okay. And he doesn't say anything yet, since they're not quite part of the group.
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone else will be able to help us. Did you think that we should call for aid of arms?
Any aid will take at least a week or two to get here. At minimum.
Besides, if we did call for that, there's no reason that it wouldn't end up reaching the wrong voices, the wrong ears in the Elven capital. And if what Roderick has to say about the situation holds any water, this entire area, including potentially the hamlet that is completely disconnected from this situation, might simply be turned to dust, just as the original civilization they came from was.
It's true. We don't want
For some
to
reason,
hasten
I
them.
feel like that would just unleash this creature upon the world.
But there's unfortunately no way to say for certain.
Currently, we know a few things. He is satisfied with sitting on his throne and being fed. And he kind of turns and looks pointedly at Roderick. I think if we were to try to do anything, we would only succeed dying valiantly.
I do not want to go on a suicide mission. Anything that we can do. I'm just not smart enough to come up with a plan.
Well, Roderick did say we had a good chance if it was daytime, but I can't imagine that the vampire lord wouldn't put protections in place in case that happened.
If we have
Then it,
another day, I could um I could get the spell daylight for next time, and if he's expecting daytime, we can attack him at nighttime, and I could cast daytime.
I still don't.
You,
I still think attacking during day is the best, but that is true.
you seem the most knowledgeable about this situation, Cyril. What exactly is it that he is?
The worst part is that I am only cautious. Seeing what he could do, seeing that he struck the amount of fear into Roderick that he did, leads me to be cautious.
Roderick's stronger than us. That means he's stronger than Roderick.
But Roderick also has his own plans. I don't think that he's exactly gung-ho on protecting others when he has his own objectives.
The vampire. We do know it's a vampire, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The vampire might have been his plan.
What are you talking about?
Maybe he was just gonna unleash the vampire there.
No,
That would make
that doesn't make any sense though. The vampire doesn't seem like it listens to anyone.
I'm surprised that the vampire did not just kill Roderick for keeping him there. Does he not know?
well, he knows Roderick was feeding him. Maybe that's why.
It seems pretty clear he knew about Roderick's role in all this. So there must be some other A purpose.
I think he thinks it's funny.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
Seems as good an assumption as any.
Funny?
Yeah.
Anyone who may have knowledge of vampiric habits, roll me a intelligence check.
Am I allowed?
Can I
Yes.
pull that off?
Either a flat intelligence check or a history check, I suppose.
I'll do history. I'll do history.
I want to
I
do it.
think
Oh,
mine is
wow.
the
Okay.
same.
Nope.
I'm gonna do
I'll
history
run a
because it's the only
history check
way.
myself.
Okay.
Only way I would know is via books. So.
Mhm.
Darn.
So only Dakota really gets this information. A couple of you guys kind of know it in theory. Dakota, you know this because it's in a Dakota Rider book.
I thought you were gonna pull out the freaking hunting thing, but no, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Vampires are bound to their coffin, crypt, or gravesite where it must rest by day. If it did not receive a formal burial, it must lie beneath a foot of earth at the place of its transition to undeath, which means that it basically has to come back to its coffin/throne by day to rest.
He's probably leaning against a wall of some kind. He's holding his gun. He's looking down at it before he looks up. He's been silent this entire time. He's just like, the vampire is bound to its coffin. I assume if he turned that coffin into his throne, he's probably still bound to that.
How far?
Cindy, can you run? Cindy, can you say that again?
It
There's a
can
lot
go
of
as far as it
stuff.
wants to. It just has to return by day.
He can go as far as he wants to, but when the day comes, he's got to be back to it.
But he can move it.
Huh.
He can move the coffin though.
Oh,
That's interesting. Well, he
You should
can't
have
go very
someone-
far unless he moves it.
should have somebody watch the area, and I'm gonna look at Roderick, so that if he does move the coffin, you should know where it is, or we should know where it is.
That's a smart plan. He does need a servant. On. And he like looks up for a second before looking back down. You hear someone slowly running up the stairs. And about a minute later, you see a person pop up there. Okay. Why are the stairs so long? Second time today. Oh my god. Okay. I'm here. Oh. I get my breath. Someone open up the fucking doors for me. I can't.
We have to
Please
go
tell me
Stairs,
back.
he's
man.
coming to the chef.
Ania casts Lesser Restoration on him. Will that
Oof.
work?
Oh, thanks, bud. Oh, now stairs. Stairs getting to me. He like walks up to the doors and he slowly pushes his way into there. Alexandra just watches. She just gets a entertained grin on her face as he just slowly pushes open. He's like, "All right, buddy, I'm gonna be your servant. Don't kill me. I'm here." He slowly starts closing the door. Guy walks in. Roderick works the guys. All right, we have someone watching now.
Make sure that they don't become a thrall, and make sure that you know if they're lying or not.
I'm sorry, a what?
Oh, don't you know that?
I have
Oh.
no idea what has happened at all since I stepped in. For all I know, there was a bomb under that floor tile.
It's a vampire.
It's a what?
It's a vampire. Do you not know what vampires are?
He looked like an old man with the teeth of a snow leech.
He's very old. He can also kill us.
It's definitely possible.
You say that as if that wasn't true about the last 100 things we've faced.
Oh no, this guy can hyper super kill us.
It's okay. We're pretty good.
He's still just staring, very clearly still half asleep and probably not exactly very good at processing information right now.
Gelmar needs a nap.
If it helps you at all, Gelmar, if the Eighth had been sent to deal with him, my captain would have turned back around.
Oh shit.
Oh my. You can't tell if he's taking this serious or not because he still just looks half asleep.
As you
We
guys
should get some
are
rest.
as you guys are talking and looking around the area, you do notice the shadows seem a little bit more dark than they used to. It seems like it has more depth to it, and every now and again it feels like it's moving out of the corner of your eye, which is exceedingly unnerving.
Oh, he's doing the thing I thought Roderick could do.
And she says this no matter if Roderick can hear her or not.
Actually, like, you see him slowly look up from his conversation with the other two and just slowly look at you for a second.
Does he question at all?
No. Just kind of look at you kind of curiously before he slowly looks back at Alexandria.
Ania is learning that she shouldn't just be vague, so she points to like some of the shadows, like,
I
Mhm.
can hear us through the walls.
Oh. Why'd you think I had that ability?
Oh, because you're super scary.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
It is
And for the
always a
very
good idea.
first time, you guys see a bat. It's just kind of floating. Well, not floating,
Aw.
but it's kind of like flying through the area. It's just a normal bat.
Oh yeah, just normal.
Baby.
It does, in fact, appear to be a very young bat.
And Ania now has a reference piece
Yep.
for flying
Yep.
transformations
I've,
late in the game.
I've already noted it down. Now I can be the vampire.
It's just a bat. It just kind of squeaks as he flies out the window and then flies back in and flies back out and flies back in.
The question is, though, small bat technically could imply a billion different things. Ironically,
Mm.
could be a baby micro bat, could be a vampire bat, because those things are even smaller.
I could
I
speak
think-
with animals.
You could.
So that
She'll
would
wait
actually be a
until-
good idea, because if it wasn't actually a bat, would speak with animals work on someone that had been transformed?
It would. It just would have significantly more intelligence than a regular bat would.
I was going to say, realistically speaking, using any sort of polymorph or other transformation ability would technically give you the creature type, so it would technically qualify as a beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would just be significantly more intelligent than a regular bat, which is a good way to tell.
Ania's not going to cast Speak with Animals yet because everyone is still talking, but she does like
Mhm.
obviously get distracted by there being a cute baby bat, and she sort of wanders over to watch it.
Fair.
What should we do now?
We should get some rest. We need to continue on with the plan to take care of Stillwater. Those people still need help.
And we come back here afterwards?
I swear, this
finish.
job keeps getting more and more convoluted by the day. And Gelmar says, going back towards the bedroom.
Roger kind of pipes up to Rue's question. Is like, I will ensure that we have all the resources available to find out who opened the goddamn coffin before you get back. I don't know who it is, but whoever did it, They may have just ended the entire town, and that really just depends on the whims of this infernal creature.
And
Seems
Nia
satiate for now.
And Nia will look back over her shoulders like,
Even if we do find them, does it matter?
Well, it's a good point, actually.
If it was an accident, you shouldn't blame them too hard. It's a monster that has been kept there for so many years. A better idea is to figure out how to deal with it, and not
No,
the person.
I think they can be blamed quite well, considering it was protected and under lock and key, technically. But I think a better use of resources would be not in that direction.
Hmm.
Dakota does not react to any of this. He's staring solemnly, pointedly at his gun.
You might be right. Even if we did find the person, the only thing I would do is probably flay off their skin piece by piece.
Dakota chooses not to listen to this.
Well, in that case, I suppose we'll find out what to do. He seems to be satiated, so moving an entire city of people is not in the cards. So we'll find something to do. This does put a massive damper on our plans for the elves.
Is he being
Were you not-
truthful? Can I just sense mode of him that?
Yeah,
like,
you're welcome
he's
to
not.
insight on him.
Yeah, it is like just so that he doesn't have like a plan to use the vampire against like the elves or something. I don't know. That's a bit too much, but I'm just gonna make sure.
If you prefer to do it, just an insight check. Very nice
Yeah.
insight check. Very fucking nice
Damn.
insight check. You could tell he's being truthful that it does put a damper on his previous plans. So at the very least, you guys have managed to delay his plans even further for nuking the entire city. But yeah, he seems very concerned about the fact that the vampire is here. So
Okay.
Dakota hears in his head at that point. Well, silver linings, I suppose. Congratulations. You just saved the entire city.
I did what now?
Dakota's not been paying attention.
Dakota's just kind of assumed it was all going to be solemn things he'd feel bad for.
By doing what you did,
Mhm.
you may have just saved the kingdom.
Oh,
So,
Uh,
silver linings.
thank you, sir. Thank.
And you will speak up again. Should we rest here or outside? Because, and she'll like tap her staff against the wall near some of the shadows.
I'm pretty sure he's like in the castle.
yeah, something about vampires always makes their what you call it, lair, I suppose, all weird and dark and batty. You see him look at one of the bats flying by.
There's more.
Yeah. You can sleep here. He doesn't seem to have a problem with you guys at all. Or I suppose you sleep outside. It might take you a little bit longer. It usually goes quite a distance away from the lair, so...
And you will speak like,
Well, that's up to you guys.
and she'll direct that to Cyril and the rest of the group.
See Alexandria turn and slowly look over at Cyril and Gelmar's direction and goes, I have a bed you can share.
Gelmar was already like halfway down the stairs on the way to the original room they were sleeping in.
Oh, we're upstairs. Aren't we?
I believe so. Yeah, you guys are...
Okay, upstairs. I'm halfway down the pathway towards the room we slept in last night.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I have a bed you can share.
I think we should all stay together. Set a watch.
Good plan.
I can take first watch. I want to talk to the bats anyway.
Good idea. I will take second.
Gilmar doesn't take a watch tonight. Gilmar sleeps.
I will help out.
Yes. And tomorrow, we prepare. We have much to do. And if we're well prepared and perhaps a little more than lucky, we can stop whatever's happening in Stillwater just before the 11th hour.
I guess we'll decide what we do when we wake up. I think most of us are still rattled.
See Alexandria kind of look at you guys, and she shrugs before grabbing Cade by the shoulder and shoving him towards the stairs. Roger kind of shakes his head, and he's like, well, you'll all sleep well. I will see you on the morning, I suppose. Feel free to come find me when you need to. I will be, kind of looks at the doors to his throne room and just kind of shrugs. In the kitchen.
I figured that's where you were going.
He turns and starts walking down the stairs.
Right.
All right, everyone.
Hmm?
Get to bed and I'll take first watch.
Yeah.
Cool.
You.
You all start heading to your sleep-ins. Feel free to all take a long rest. Ania, you are awake first. What would you like to be doing?
So Nia casts Speak with Animals.
Mhm.
Is she able to just hear the bats? She's just
Yeah.
listening if they're talking.
Yeah, there's a few bats around, and they're like, ooh, dark. We get food. Invite. We've been invited. Food. Invite. Yeah.
She
It's like
finds them
4 or 5
adorable,
different voices.
and she'll wave up and she'll talk in bat. So anyone who overhears her, she's squeaking. It's like,
Hello, are you invited?
Friend, invite, friend. And one pops down, like in front of you, just kind of floating in front of you. Speak, same voice, speak, hi.
and Nia will hold her staff out horizontally so the bat can hang off it, either right side up or just hang upside down from her staff.
It flips upside down to hang on top of it. Hello.
Adorable.
Hello. Who invited you?
Being. Vampire.
Oh, do you like vampires?
Food.
Oh, he feeds you too, huh?
Food. Yes, invite, food.
Oh, you all
fun.
eat blood?
Bug.
Oh. He
Many
feeds you
bugs.
bugs?
All bugs.
Many bugs. I bet bugs do like blood, huh?
Bugs. We eat bugs. All bugs. We like bugs.
You're very cute. Do you know this vampire?
It kind of stares at you and it just goes, invite.
I must be very kind.
It kind of tilts its head at you.
Kind, nice vampire. Good invite.
Good invite. We eat. Food.
Enjoy food.
And
Food.
she'll she'll let them fly off.
It just kind of flies away. You see it like tackles something in midair. Food, food, all food, 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 friend food, food, and then like you just hear chorus of food, 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 food. As like a bunch of bats now fly out of the area.
Oh god. Is she noticing anything weird about the bugs?
Not particularly.
It's just a sudden increase of bugs in the castle or something.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
You also notice there's now a couple of rats moving across the floor too.
Great. Does our door have a window?
I would say yeah.
Okay. She will stand outside the door, outside, so she can look inside the window and check on everyone pretty frequently. And she just hangs out there for her shift.
Alright, cool. The night passes fairly smoothly for all of you guys on your shifts, unless y'all want to do something on your shift.
See, there was a moment here where I saw everyone taking a long rest, and I was like, oh, I might as well click it. But then I took it back because I was just like, wait, is Dakota sleeping tonight? I don't know.
That is a very good question. Yeah.
Are you tired?
What?
I don't know. I mean, like, I think Dakota's tired, but I think there's too much going through Dakota for him to feel comfortable enough to sleep.
That's fair.
I'm not sure.
I mean, you
I-
can roll me a wisdom check. Wisdom kind of
Wisdom
mental
check.
fortitude of sorts.
Figure out how do
You should just be
there
able
you go.
to.
That's right, but that's right. That's
It's
right.
the right side modifier underneath your stat.
Yeah.
So I would say with a 15, you would be mentally fortified enough to be able to sleep if you choose to.
Okay. All right. He might, though. I think
When-
at least before I imagine that he might look at it. He's seeing everyone around him. He looks down at his gun. It's just, I don't know. I could see him muttering something like, "I wish I could talk to you like how Rue talks to her god."
Oh, that's cute.
Would Dakota come out to talk to Ania?
No,
That's a good question.
I don't know.
She is still mad.
Maybe Dakota might go over to Ania, I think. Yeah.
So he'll come outside before he tries to go to bed just because he can't sleep.
Yeah, I could see it.
Slowly opening the stone door, slowly moving out, slowly closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hey, MS.
The bats are cute.
Yeah. I
They're
guess
just
so.
bats.
That's good.
Can't sleep?
No, not really.
A shame.
Somehow I'm not sure if that was genuine.
She'll think about it.
Half.
Half genuine. All right, I'll take it. I'm sorry about all that.
Are you?
Yeah. That one was full genuine.
Sorry means you won't do it again.
I mean, I'll try not to open any coffins with horrible things inside of them. I doubt we'll run into one
shh.
again, but
Ania will like bat him on the muzzle, like stop.
ow.
Gotta be more subtle.
Rat. Yeah. I thought you said they were just bats.
Well, yeah. But we don't know who's around. We're in the middle of a castle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I must admit, I wasn't really listening much to the conversation earlier. Cyril said something that I might have saved the kingdom. I'm really not sure how I did that.
Well, Roderick has to deal with this, so he's not going to be doing the thing with the elves anytime soon.
Oh, that's good. Thanks.
I guess, unless the vampire decides to.
Yeah, that guy seems like he does a lot of stuff mostly on a whim. So, I don't. He doesn't seem like he'll be interested in it, but I'm not sure.
Adio will sigh and look over to Coda, and may I do a perception check to make sure no one is listening?
Yep.
Can I like the shadows are still there, but
Mm-hmm.
it's already a little bit too late for that.
You are fairly
Nice
confident
guy.
no one's listening. As you look into the shadows, it seems like a sensory effect. You've done it a few times with like plants and stuff, making it move on its own and stuff. It seems like just a passive effect more than it is anything actually like listening or anything like that. Usually you get some kind of feeling if something is watching or, staring at you or whatever, and you're not quite getting it from here. It's just every now and again, out of the corner of your eye, the shadows move, and it's very unnerving.
Okay. And she'll say,
Why did you do it? Dakota?
No, sorry. Well, yeah, sorry. Can you say that again?
Why did you do it?
Why'd I do it? I don't like the idea of not knowing what's going on with people more powerful than us. Because I was scared, I guess.
You weren't scared of what would happen if you opened it?
I guess I was just more scared of not knowing what was inside the coffin.
You have to think more about the consequences of potential actions.
I guess.
Wasn't it obvious he was trying to keep it closed? I
Guess
didn't
in my
know it
head.
was. Oh, go
Mhm.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And I didn't know it was a vampire, but I could have at least put together that there was some sort of being inside that would probably be violent.
Dead things usually stay dead. Now,
You saw the coffin move!
That's, in my head, I figured that he didn't want us to open the coffin, so maybe it would work out better if I did it first.
You will sigh and lean against it. I don't even remember if you said you were going to do that or not.
No, not really. Kind of
You
just
could have
occurred
at
to me when
least
I got it.
consulted us. I did tell you not to go into that room.
Yeah, you did. I just wanted to have an edge over what was powerful for me for once, you know?
I don't think I know I'm familiar with that feeling. I basically just grew up in the druid circle. I know you grew up very differently from me.
Yeah.
For me, it was always about being subtle and knowing more. And you were trying to know more, but opening the coffin, though?
Thought it was a good idea at the time.
It was a stupid idea.
Yeah, no, it kind of was.
Well, you need to get rest. What is keeping you up the most?
I don't know, the feeling like the vampires might kill me in my sleep.
No, he's not gonna do that. It wouldn't be funny.
I mean, we don't know what's funny to him.
I can guesstimate.
Mm.
He likes talking too much to kill someone when they're asleep.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. I'll try. Maybe if I'm lucky, then my patron will try to talk to me, and I can interrogate him on what he knows about this. I
Isn't
don't
he
know.
mean?
Yeah, no, he's pretty mean. He probably won't, but I'd like to dream. I'm sure he probably. Seeing that guy's magic, I can't imagine that my patron doesn't know something about him. Maybe if he's lucky, he hates him.
Do you
Maybe
have a
if
way
I'm
to talk to
unlucky.
him?
Uh, eh, not like the miss has with their god, but I mean, I have my gun, and there's like kind of a connection there. Kind of shows up when it feels like it. Pulls out his gun and
Well,
twirls it a bit.
you talked to him in your sleep before that one time. Maybe if you do sleep, you'll get to talk to him.
Maybe. I can try. Sleep ain't a con, missus. That's a
Maybe you
quote.
can. Oh, okay. You know many
Pers-
quotes.
I do know many quotes.
Well, at least I know the bats are fine. They're just normal bats. They're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
They're not even blood-eating bats. They just eat bugs.
Oh.
I thought for sure they would be blood-eating bats, but they're not.
Oh, that's good. I can't imagine my blood would taste good to him.
I don't think. Why?
I don't know. Blood tastes bad.
Well, you don't eat blood. Of course it does. And
Yeah.
she'll like bap him lightly with
Mm.
her staff. Go to bed.
Ow. Well, he grumbles a bit and walks over back.
As you turn to the side, you just see like two rats just like scuttling past your feet.
Uh,
And you
wish I could.
and
Wish
he
I
waves
could wear
hello to them.
shoes.
What was that, Neo?
She waves hello to them. I don't know if Speak Animals is still on. She might be like, "Hi."
They both
Dakota.
look up at you and they're like, ew.
Ania's offended.
Dakota just flinches. It's just like, I wish I could wear shoes.
Maybe I can make you some custom-made ones.
Mm,
Nah, that'll just look weird. This is book accurate.
Okay.
He walks off, his poncho billowing behind him.
Beautiful.
He looks a lot cooler when he's not talking.
All right. Is there anything the rest of y'all want to do with your watch shifts? Or is night just gonna pass for y'all?
yeah, pretty much.
All right, fair enough. So as you guys kind of are resting and trying to get your existences back to its general domain, Dakota, you would hear Vol your deep sleep and whatnot, pretty much just you know the sound that people make when they're tussling things around inside of a room and throwing things around the area and either trying to organize or very grumpy and angry and just tossing shit around the room? Dakota?
Vaguely? Yeah?
Yeah.
I think so.
That's more or less what you are
Yeah.
what you're hearing in your head as you're in your deep sleep. You just hear, God, fuck, another one? Really? Just, God, why? Why? That thing should not be here. What's it doing? How's it here? Had I not know about it? What the fuck? And then your dream ends.
the patron.
Well, it's good to know he hates him too. This is very cathartic to Dakota.
Alright, the night passes with, I would say uncomfortable difficulty, but does pass reasonably easily. You guys eventually make your way to waking up again. The sun shines, obviously, directly onto Ania's face in the morning, because it has to. And the rest of y'all get the gentle awakening from the morning rays just kind of filling the room.
Ania rolls over so she's on her stomach and pulls the blanket over her head.
Fair.
Galwar was on the bottom bunk, so he's shaded by the guy above him.
I assume since we only have one top bunk, Ania took it because she made it.
Probably.
How much time do we have before we were going to leave?
You guys had about 2 weeks, I believe. You wanted to get there before the middle of the month, which is in 2 weeks. And it's I think it's a day or two journey.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have time, technically.
Mhm.
Okay, so during those especially like the morning after,
Mhm.
Cyril just kind of like gently wakes up. Rue and Gelmar because he's already offered it once. He at least wants to offer it again.
Mhm.
I would like to offer again. I'm going to go train. I need to clear my head. If you would like some extra training in handling your shield and attacking in response, I can do that.
A little extra training never hurt anyone, he says, slowly rolling over. Sorry, I need a minute. One heck of a dream.
Training always sounds fun, but you just added the extra bonus. What was the dream?
Some weird guy sitting on a throne in the castle. Vaporized someone with a flick of his wrist.
Oh, I'm sorry to say this. That was not a dream.
Sorry, sir.
Snaps awake. I'm sorry, what?
No, yeah, that was real.
Yeah, no, there's a vampire here now, sir.
Yeah, he killed that person.
Yeah.
Great. Another her problem on the pile.
Yeah, we're adding it to the bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me you at least have some level of a plan about how this right now.
To come back to it.
Yeah.
I was afraid you were going to say that, he says, standing up. Not that I see it likely I'll be able to convince you to pursue it differently.
I would also
Yes.
have liked to do it immediately, but I guess the team is moving onwards.
We can ask Roderick about it.
Ania's like muttering from underneath the blanket.
If he's gonna get stronger if we don't do anything, that's a problem. But if he's just gonna be here, I mean, we can come back whenever. And I was told he has like a room of bodies. I don't know how often vampires feed, but it seems like he's gonna be fine for a little while.
But if he starts killing people as soon as we leave, or already, that means that we have waited too long.
Are we certain he's not going to eventually go to the hamlet or demand sacrifices from the hamlet.
When did I ever say he wasn't gonna do that eventually?
I think the only thing we can expect is that this particular creature will do exactly what it wants when it feels like it. I know that is an awful answer, and it doesn't comfort at all.
And our only option for the moment is just let him do what he wants, run rampant, and cause whatever chaos he so desires.
Do you remember from your dream how that one person painted the floor red?
I see your point, but I still don't like it.
I don't either. But picking your fights is important.
I can see it too. I would like to deal with this as soon as possible, but I don't want us to die. If we do this other mission first, maybe we can get a little stronger and be more ready.
What if we make him look at the mirror?
Would that work?
That
I don't
creature
know.
was scared of Roderick, and Roderick was scared of him.
But what if he makes the mirror into his minion? That would suck too. We could ask Roderick about it. That would be pretty funny. We can just move the mirror in there. He'll look at it on his own.
And the mirror is also its own type of creature too. There's only 7 of its kind, right? But the vampire lord is just a vampire.
Still, the thought of watching him beat the
understatement.
crap out of himself would be hilarious.
If he does get sucked into the mirror, he's just gonna be laying there for however long he's in there for.
We should go speak to the mirror again. I could go talk to it. I could be right back.
No, we'll talk to Roderick first.
Let me go meet
You
my
think
friend
it
in the
would bump?
mirror again.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely go through that mirror. It's good.
Only if you are lucky enough for Shadow You to not remember to strike first.
Ah, well, yeah, I guess whoever can blow up each other first.
And he will sigh and start to get out of bed.
So you move the blanket off, you just get hit in the face by the beam of light from the window.
I think it's an interesting idea. We'll see what Roderick has to say.
Cool. Where are y'all heading to?
Kitchen?
I assume I'm following Cyril to the training grounds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm heading to the training grounds. Cyril's just kind of munching on rations and just having something quick to drink.
Oh.
Fair.
So Ania will head towards the kitchen, and she'll let anyone follow her if they so desire.
Oh, this is hard. I love to train, but I want to ask and make sure he's being truthful about the mirror.
Actually, or as they're about to separate, Gilmar's actually going to tap Ania on the shoulder, and whisper to her, "When you get a moment later, I'd like your assistance with something."
Nia will seem more awake at that, just because it interests her, so she's a little bit happier, and she'll nod.
Thank you, he says with a nod as he goes back to following the rest of the group.
Nia only wakes up when something makes her happy.
Interesting. Dakota, which group are you following?
Okay, run me through the groups.
Cyril
Sorry,
and Gelmar are
Madeline.
going to the training ground to train. Ania
Yeah.
is going to
Yeah.
the kitchen to talk with
Good.
Roderick.
And to get food.
And to get
food is
food.
good. I kind of want to follow Sierra and Gilmar because I don't want Roderick to suddenly realize I was the one who opened the
Yeah.
coffin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
that's a
enough.
good idea.
I will go with Ania, and then I'm going to go and run after and go and try to catch their training before too late.
Very fair.
You can bring them snacks
Yeah.
from the
I,
kitchen.
I point off to them who are leaving. Be like, don't do too much without me.
Just
And
make sure to
Sapphire?
make it down there as soon as you can.
Oh yes, I will run up on what is it called? Just leave a dust trail to make it.
And Sapphire, which group do you want to go to?
I'm going to the kitchens with Ania.
Cool. Okay. So, Ania, so the girls go to the kitchen, the guys
Yep.
go to the training ground. I see how
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right.
Oh
So-
damn.
That didn't even occur to me that that's what was
Wow.
happening.
I know.
Some people say breakfast is the way to start your morning. Some people disagree, apparently.
Wow. Then where did that thought process come from? Just-
So we'll look at the girls first as they head over to the kitchen, and you guys get to see your favorite being, the angry dwarf whose just name is Chef, as he's apparently making Roderick some kind of food that you're not quite sure. He's sitting down on one of the stools and has a very grumpy look to his face as the dwarf is just like, "You like my fucking cooking? You better like my goddamn cooking. I make my cooking good, bitch."
What does it look like Roderick's having?
It looks like it's either some kind of salad along with a small piece of meat and then a weird stew that you're not entirely sure the contents of.
I'll have what he's having and juice, please.
Oh my god, I get to make it twice! Fuck yeah! He just starts working on it.
And Ania will blatantly. Does Roderick have a seat across from him or beside him?
Beside him.
No, she'll sit. So he doesn't have one across from him.
No, they're sitting at the bar, basically.
Ania will blatantly try to sit right next to him.
He doesn't move or anything. He's just staring at the suspicious stew as you sit down. And he's like, "You know, I'm never quite sure what they put inside of these stews."
You could test your luck, Rue says, and she screeches the chair and sits on his opposite side.
Oh, I need to change my spells. I forgot. Let me do that.
Skrrr.
Sure.
Just like slowly, he grabs essentially a wooden spoon and he just kind of pokes at the stew. It's like, I don't think I've had this in many years. Not sure if it'll do well for my stomach.
What do you usually eat?
Berries, mostly.
You have a whole kitchen and you only eat berries?
Well, yeah. Kitchen's for everyone here.
You're here too.
Well, yeah, but I'm normally up in my throne.
Just because you can live forever doesn't mean a good meal isn't good for you.
If it tastes weird.
Well,
I swear to
try new
God, you son of a bitch! If you think it tastes weird, I will fucking feed it down your throat!
here, I have an idea that might cheer you up.
Hmm?
And she'll like lean on the bar and lower her voice like,
What if we have the vampire look at the mirror?
Would it work?
Suppose it could potentially work. Yeah, he just like he puts his spoon down inside the bowl and puts his hand to his chin. He's like, suppose it could potentially work. Assuming that it has some kind of power, it could stall him for at least a little bit. We would potentially be killing the mirror, but I mean, it's not that big of an issue.
Oh, that's like 2 birds, 1 stone.
Oh yeah, you all wanted to kill that mirror, huh?
Yeah, it's not really a
Yeah.
good person in there.
Suppose that would be killing 2 birds, 1 stone. Unless, of course, he turns it into a thrall somehow, but since it's a demon, that's exceptionally unlikely. Although he could convince it to be on his side, but considering it's inside of its domain, that's also exceedingly unlikely. Could also
There
just
are
piss him off a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think it all hinges on if he'd be affected by the mirror's pull or not.
No, most likely. Most creatures would be, unless they're of demonic heritage or are in some way, shape, or form outside of this universe. Both of which are exceedingly unlikely.
So it is an option. Will the vampire... Is he very weak right now because he just woke up?
It's daytime, so he would be resting at the moment. You could
Well, I mean in
potentially piss him
general.
off. Suppose he would be. I mean, most vampires. Well, actually, he would probably be about the same. Considering we've been feeding him for so many years, he probably has just been kind of sleeping. He'd probably be about the same power level as he would normally be at.
So if we were to just leave him be, he's not going to be intensely stronger later?
Very unlikely.
Do you know if the coffin is still there?
Oh yeah, he shapeshifted into the throne. He said, and I quote, "It's so much cooler to sit on a throne than it is to lay in a coffin." He was saying something about how cool he is. I wasn't really listening after he started, looking at me hungrily.
And why did you feed it? I forgot.
Oh, bodies.
Oh, why though?
Oh, because honestly, he's so powerful. That was the only way to really satiate him, and we assumed that he could potentially have broken out of the coffin at any point in time, unless he was, satisfied, or he was waiting for a good moment. We're not entirely sure. He seems to have a thing for theatrics for whatever reason.
Can I insight check just to make sure he's
Absolutely.
truthful? But I'm pretty sure he's telling the truth. Oh,
Goddamn. You're fairly confident he's being truthful, although he's staring at his bowl of soup or stew, still with that same confused and slightly disconcerted look as he's saying this, so you're kind of having a difficult time reading him for the most part.
are you okay. Well, that pretty much sums up everything. I really got to go.
Make some bread so
Oh,
everyone gets to eat.
that's true.
As Ania says that you hear and like you can kind of catch out of the air bread flying at you like a fucking dagger.
Oh, she catches it like a football player running out the door, and then she holds up. She's like, one more.
Another one.
Another one. She catches that too in her mouth, and she's like, thank you.
Bread.
Yeah, she raises
the dwarf
her arms
legitimately
up.
jumps on the counter screaming.
Bread, bread, bread.
Yes, she raises her arms and to flex her muscles, and she's like in muffles shout bread, and
bread. We like bread.
and she leaves, giving a salute.
He hops back down, and Roderick is just like, "What the fuck?"
Does Ania have the stew yet?
Yeah, he like slides the stew over to you. And he's like, "This is my special stew. I put stuff in it."
Can I smell anything unusual that I would recognize?
Roll me a nature check.
Okay. Let me see here. Nature. Where's nature? There we go.
You can tell that inside of there is It has a bunch of like different vegetables and a couple different fruits, but not a whole lot of them. But mostly it consists of a lot of different leaves.
Okay. She's gonna try a bite of it.
It
Before
tastes
Roderick does.
surprisingly good, although you can definitely feel the texture of the leaves.
It tastes pretty good. The texture's a little bit odd, though.
And she'll
Ah.
encourage Roderick to try it.
I need to simmer it down even more. He walks over and basically turns up the heat on the stew. Roderick's like, is this even nutritious?
I'm pretty sure it's more nutritious than anything you've had in a while, sir.
Yeah, that's probably right. All right. He starts taking some bites and he's like, wow, this
Wow.
has so much flavor. to it. Wow.
How long have you been eating berries?
Just a deep sigh.
She'll leave him to his meal for a bit while she eats. And is Sapphire getting anything? Or wants to ask anything?
I want some eggs and sausage.
Ooh, that does sound good right now. I might make that after
Fuck
this.
you! And you see the guy, like, he reaches into what seems to be like a chilled compartment as he pulls out, like, tiny eggs. And he's like, we got this from the chickens. I actually don't know what kind of chickens we got this from. It's, Ian speaks in Dwarvish, which I believe you know, if I recall correctly.
Yes, I know Dorvish.
Yeah, he speaks in Dwarvish, and he's like, fucking chicken snake pieces of shit. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was nice. And he looks back and he's like, hey, yeah, it's some kind of chicken. There's meat. Actually got it from the same thing. I don't know what it was. But it's fucking good. He starts cooking.
I'll reply back in Dorvish. Thank you.
You know the dwarven language? And he like he switches over again. He's like, you are fancy, very fancy. I like speaking in Dwarvish because it's fancier than common. I like fancy.
Is there a reason why you're climbing on top of me?
No, I think that's to the baby.
Just a mental picture of the dwarf like leaping over the fucking counter and like climbing up each. Just like, I like dwarvish.
The baby. Aw, Gideon.
She likes the dwarvish too.
will... She likes the dwarvish too. Ania will just eat her soup for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll wake up more.
Audra kind of looks over at you and he's like, you know, I've never seen one of your kind out here, you know, willy-nilly. Kind of interesting.
Ania will look over to him as part of the You Know, I Know, You Know club.
Hmm.
And sort of point towards his eyes with her spoons, like, well, I don't think I've ever seen one of your kind before either.
That's very fair. My kind is dying out, I suppose.
Were you always that kind, or did something happen?
Something happened a long, long time ago. Shortly after the village got, how do you say, smoldered. The people I was around weren't, the best, shall we say. And the tales of the god were not just for the Yuan-Ti. So, I was part of I suppose it was a cult, I suppose you could call it. And they were trying to do, not quite sacrifices, but they were trying to do modifications to people, using the powers of deities, or supposed deities, I suppose. And, well, unfortunately, I was one of the few survivors of their struggles.
Were you willing?
No.
Nia will look back to her soup and stir it slowly. And she's like,
The mirror said I should be. The mirror was oddly helpful and encouraging, saying I should be more honest with my team. I don't know why.
It's a strange creature. It has more interest in developing its own power than it does in harming others. And it also wants to make you see what you don't have and to watch whether you get it or you struggle and fail.
And that's what I was thinking. It could be one of two things. One, it's being genuinely helpful, or two, it wants to see my party not like me as much.
It usually tells the truth. It tells you what you should seek. And oftentimes, what you should seek is so far from you that trying to achieve it, you stumble across the way. And then you don't ever get it. And that is what hunger's for. Watching you strive and miss it just by an inch.
and she'll look back towards him and be like,
You know, it offered me a question, and since we were about to face you and I didn't know how it was going to go, I asked what your fear was.
And what did it tell you?
Told you the thing you fear most is not being able to achieve your revenge.
Yeah. Something always stops me. Always just a little bit out of reach. Every single time.
Did it also tell you not to pursue it?
No. It told me to pursue it. It told me to
Well.
strive towards my goal with every ounce of power I possibly could achieve. It said it wanted to see me strive because I would feed it more than anyone else on the planet.
Kind of makes you not want to do it.
Unfortunately, it didn't count for me being a stubborn bastard.
No, there are some people like me that I think might be in that area. I would very much rather not see harm come to.
Well, you certainly have time to get them out.
Do you really think you'll be happy if you destroy that place?
No. But I will be satisfied.
I guess that counts for something. I mean, achieving something you've spent so long. Are you just going to, and she'll look him up and down for a bit, perish after?
He kind of stirs the bowl for a little bit, and he's just like, I don't know, to be honest with you. I spent over 100 years trying to break that place down brick by brick. And, well, we'll see whether or not my accomplishments will get me anywhere. Honestly, at this point, I'm fairly confident I'm fueled by spite more than I am anything else, or it's a cruel joke by the universe that I just can't fucking die. But probably after I nuke that place into a smoldering boulder, I'll lay down, bury myself into a grave, and just pretend to be dead until I'm alive.
she'll look back to her soup and eat it for a little bit. She'll be like,
I don't think you should do it. The whole blowing it up thing, but you already knew that. But I also can't think of anything else I think would satisfy you.
They burned my city to the ground. I simply seek to do the same thing. Could do it with a smaller city, but I think they would just look at it and wipe it off the face of the planet. Every book, every instance of words involving the name of that town, they would just erase.
Even if you do blow it up, they're probably not going to acknowledge the city at all. They'll just say some rogue bandit king did a terrorist attack.
And this is true. But imagine how it would feel for all the other kingdoms to look at the supposed greatest kingdom on the continent turned into absolute smoldering ash. And they finally will know that the elves are not as high and mighty as they truly pretend to be, not as safeguarded, not as protected as they believe them to be.
What if the elves say they did it themselves?
And then they're fools. No one would ever partner with someone that would nuke their entire history. Clearly, they would be hiding something.
Maybe.
Unless they had some kind of rampant disease going through, but everyone would hear about it. That's also why I don't want this information to get out. I don't want them to make some kind of plans to counteract my deed.
I don't think the information would get out that easily, considering how good they are at hiding multiple information even nowadays.
Mm. He kind of looks you up and down for a second, kind of seemed to try to judge something towards you. And he like shrugs for a second and just kind of goes,
1 to 20. Oh wait, I looked at the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I should be looking at that.
"You're good."
Oh no,
I
it's on the
just-
main thing too. Okay, it wasn't
Yeah.
secret.
No, you're fine. But he kind of looks at you for a second. He just kind of goes, "You seem very trustworthy, but it's hard to say."
Nia will tap the bowl a few times idly, and she'll be like,
Well, depends what you're trusting me with, I suppose.
Are you for or against the elves?
she'll think about it, and she will glance towards Sapphire because she has been speaking. She hasn't said anything definite, but she has been saying like casual things. She's trying to see how well Sapphire's listening. I don't know if there she is.
Yeah, I would probably be listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Nia will look at Sapphire for a bit and look back at her bowl, and she'll be like,
Well, I understand the High Elves have done quite a few not very good things. I don't think I would say I'm for or against them. I do say I think I'm for or against the loss of lives that probably haven't done anything.
Would your opinion change if you knew? He kind of hesitates for a moment on that. It's like,
That there are certain people being hurt by them? Well, I don't think it's all of them.
no. They have an artifact in their clutches. And it could do a lot worse than what I could do to them. He kind
Are
of
you
still
planning on-
slowly stirring his bowl.
Are you planning on blowing that up too?
That's what I'm hoping is contained.
But you don't know for sure.
No. But if I blow up their entire city, it would be real hard for it to get out. To the
Is
best
this
of
artifact-
my...
Is this artifact something that can potentially be moved, or it's something like the size of a room?
To the best of my knowledge, which is slightly outdated, it's a sphere about. He kind of like puts his hands out like shoulder widths, and he's like about that big. And it's inside of their council room, up inside the tower. It's one of the reasons very few people are allowed there. We don't know exactly what it does, but
She'll smile a bit impishly at that and look to him and say,
If we could get you that, would that be satisfying for you? If you could blow just that up?
if you could get me that, I won't have to attack the elves at all. I'll do some kind of other presentation, I suppose. Be a big enough village, toss all the people out, I'll nuke it happily. That artifact, to the best of my knowledge, corrupts everyone and everything it comes into contact with, without exception.
That's a pretty bad thing to have in a council room.
It is. If
How
you are
did you
able
find
to
out
get,
about it?
I have spies, many, many spies in the Elven Kingdom.
I see. Well, I'll tell the rest of my party that.
Hmm.
Not the spy thing. Well, maybe the spy thing, but you know.
If you are going over there, which he again looks you up and down for a second, might not be the best idea for you. Give the code to one of the guardsmen. Give the code of the snake shines brightly with the two silver eyes. And they will pass word that you're there to some of my informants.
Any particular guardsmen, or just try my luck?
Any guardsmen. Most of them know the code phrase. And they're very, very talkative. So word will get out that the code phrase has been used. None of them really know why people say it, but it's a mite of curiosity. And that curiosity spreads. And eventually my informant hears it. Or one of my spies hears it and informs my informant.
I see. Thank you very much.
Don't touch the artifact.
Understood.
You are much nicer than I'm used to.
Well, you do recruit bandits.
That's fair. I mean, some of them, like Kate, are pretty nice to have around, and some, like Alexandria, are difficult.
Difficult, but I think she's pretty nice too. I think most people are nice.
She has a good heart. She just doesn't know how to act with any sense of decorum, shall we say. At that, you see the dwarf like holding out like a plate of the eggs and bacon, just being like, "Got the motherfucking meats! It's so good!" It's like, and that too.
He makes good food though.
He does, surprisingly. I found him on the side of the road being abandoned by, I believe it was 2 different groups of travelers, if I recall correctly. That's why he knows so many different languages. He picked up quite a few of them, mostly while they were insulting him in nearly every way you can imagine.
Must have that kind of effect.
and she'll go back to eating.
He's a kind soul, just abrasive. Alrighty. Is there anything you want to say, Sapphire? Oh, she is typing. I make a mean weed rat stew. Yeah. Want to ask why we can't touch the artifact. He's gonna look at you, kind of like turn and look a little bit to you. He's just kind of gonna go, to the best of the knowledge I've been given so far, it has a radius effect of corruption in some way. Don't know exactly what it does. We haven't had anyone around it for long enough, but it just twists people. And if you touch it, well, I assume the powers will be magnified incredibly. And that twisted version of you will be, how do you say, on display in the worst possible way. And I assume that if that does happen, well, you likely wouldn't want to be around your teammates for much longer. Or they might try to kill you, or you might try to kill them. And I'm sure folks with hearts as kind as yours would not want to have to kill someone you love. Did we bring it to you without being able to touch it? That I do not know. To the best of my knowledge, they have it on top of one of the council thrones. And I'm not sure how they managed to get up there. Honestly, the idea of going and getting it sounds like a fool's errand to me. It's just easier to smite it out of existence, in my opinion. Or bury it under so much rubble.
I could cover it in stone and roll it out.
If you manage to be able to get that out of the throne room, down the stairs, all the way to the bottom of the obsidian tower, outside of the entire kingdom, and all the way up to me, by rolling it in stone, I will be thoroughly impressed.
I will keep in mind to try and do that.
It is an important artifact to erase from existence, in my opinion, but it is so fortified just by being so high up that it's nearly harder to get than the journal inside of their, I suppose, basement, you would call it. So, haven't bothered to consider the idea of getting it yet. But maybe, just maybe, you lot might stand a chance. Although if you all fail, I will be nuking that town regardless, so fallback plans. As I'm sure you can understand, I don't want the possibility of it getting into the wrong hands. Or any hands.
Amiable. Nod.
I have a lot against the elves, but even I wouldn't want that on my own worst enemy. Easier just to nuke them. Let them come home happily. Yeah, he's just staring at his bowl, just, I suppose contemplating would be the best word for it. But also it's like a very sad look over his eyes.
You'll tap the bowl, encourage him to eat.
He shrugs and starts eating. Alrighty. That I assume is where we're going to be able to end it. I believe the training is going to take a little bit. So we'll start it up next episode with Cyril, I suppose, guiding Galmar on how to use the shield along with Haru, who joins them, and Dakota, who I assume you're just going to be watching the shield play, since you don't have a shield.
I could barely hold one, let's be real.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you could try.
I could
You
maybe
can-
I could hold it, but I couldn't use it.
I
can
mean,
participate.
a small shield and a small or a medium shield, I'm sure Dakota could hold. And
I was gonna say, I think she could probably wear, or I think he could probably wear an armlet
Mhm.
or armament. What are
Oh,
they called? Those
so
things
we,
called?
That
so
would
we
be pretty
shouldn't
cool.
go throw a shield at him and say, think fast.
Just fucking
I mean,
knocks him out onto the floor.
imagine somebody coming after him with an axe. He blocks the shot and then just comes around the shield. Bam!
I need to actually find that image.
Oh, a buckler,
One
I
sec.
think is the name of it. On those small
Actually, I was
shields.
talking about a small, essentially tiny piece of armor that goes around the outside. It's kind of like how should I say this? Hold on, I'm just gonna find the image.
You're good. All right. Well, hopefully you guys all enjoyed this episode. We're going to be raiding out here in a minute, but we're going to be raiding to Lissa, who is going through her ads at the moment. So we'll be talking for just a minute more as I probably hold her up. But she is doing her subathon. She is doing Tavern Manager Simulator, which apparently is a really fun game from what I've seen. An absolute
Yes, we need to
sweetheart.
play it.
We do. I would love to play that. I think you can also add your community in there too, if I recall correctly.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like you can have people come in, and the names are people who joined from the Twitch chat, like Twitch integration names. If I recall correctly, I might be thinking of another game, but pretty sure that's what I'm thinking of. And I still need to fix my bot that does my Twitch chat stuffs. So I'll be doing that in a bit. But for now, we can just copy the library spirits that come to visit. But if you guys enjoyed this, please do hit that follow button. It really does support us quite a bit. Do go ahead and check out Arcane Sundries as well. I do appreciate them rating me, so feel free to go check them out if you guys have not already, as the person who rated us. And then we're going to go ahead and visit Lissa here in a couple minutes, probably. What was I talking about before? I feel like I was saying something that was in part. Oh, right. Because it popped into my head. I have now fixed up my entire Discord. I've redone a whole bunch of that. So if you guys want to join the Discord, go look at that. It's hopefully it looks a little bit nicer. Hopefully it looks a little bit more organized and a little bit easier for you guys to look at, to enjoy. And yeah, as I said before, we're also going to be going silent almost the entirety of January, aside from D&D, which we'll have next week at 6 p.m. PST as per usual. Most of the reason for this is that I am slowly starting to do a whole lot of background stuffs, which included fixing up my Discord, as well as planning a whole bunch of things and doing a bunch of other stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why we're not having a whole lot of videos this month. But starting February, we're going to come back. We're going to come back very strong, and we're going to hit the ground fucking running like a goddamn maniac. So hit that follow button, come join us for some fun stuffs, and we'll see all of you fine folks when we see all of you. I believe she's still inside of her stuffs, but she's almost done. She got a minute left, so we're going to pop over to Lissa, assuming it lets me. Feel free to copy the raid message, and we'll see all of you fine folks next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.